Good, good,
Nice.
good.
So the camera bug is not fixed. I don't know
Hang
how
on.
to do that, but I did
Wait,
fix some
wait.
other issue, I think.
Are we not going over to the Discord?
No, I think we are.
We are. We're just waiting for him to start a stage.
Didn't he
Is it
start a stage?
in
Is that-
events? Hello.
Okay. Let's get you in. Let's get you in. So for everybody listening, mods and everybody, okay, I'm gonna make this very clear. No one, including mods, is to come up until you're invited. We want to keep this very orderly. And the only people that should be raising their hands are people that have already asked to be a part of the debate. Just to make that very clear. So if you had not signed up to be part of the debate, do not raise your hand at all. We need to keep that exclusively to the people that signed up for this. But this is
Perfect.
the easiest way to broadcast this via both stream as well as for what we're doing. Let's get this show on the road. I'm gonna start my stream.
I'm ready.
Let's get this bad boy started.
I'm excited for this. Also, I'm in pain. I want to read your chat. Finally, a video where I can watch some civil people debate this, hopefully in a slightly more civil manner than the comment sections.
No,
Dude,
you are
Well,
I got
We'll see.
Okay, well,
we'll
there's
see how civil this
we
is.
got some nice civil people for sure, but I got a funny feeling that there's gonna be some hurt feelings.
Oh, unimaginably so. Oh, Lord.
Apparently, Clark's not holding back. Apparently, so I'm ready to hear. I'm ready to hear what he has to say.
We will see.
There we go. Clark's live. Clark, I'm playing up your stream on my phone. There we
W.
go.
All right, good. Streams live. What's up, chat? Who's ready? The most important debate in Fortnite history starts soon. Round of applause for y'all being here. Let's go. Jojo, are you live?
Yes, sir.
JoJo's
Oh.
live. Clinables is live. Hello to both chats. Hello to my chat. Welcome.
I didn't
We're
say
about to get
hi
on
to
and
JoJo's chat. I'm
poppin'.
sorry, JoJo. I thought you were still walking. Hi, JoJo's chat.
No, I'm home, bro. I told you I'd be home in time.
Where were you?
I walked.
Trying to be healthy and shit. Imagine.
Yeah, that's actually true. I'm going to the gym after stream too.
Yeah, anybody coming on right now? Sorry, I know I said Fortnite game chat, but there
Okay.
was a change of plans. You can find it, Clark. I'm guessing in your description, right?
Oh, finding what? My Discord?
Your Discord, yeah.
Yeah, you can find it in the link to my Discord in
All
the
right, I'm
description,
muted,
or if
right?
you're in
You
my
guys
chat,
can't hear me?
!! Discord is the
Okay,
command
bet.
for anybody that signed up to
Chat,
debate today. You're going
Today
to need to be in my Discord, join
we
the
beat
stage,
debating.
and when you grab
Today's
the
the
chair,
big debate.
and it's your turn to debate me, raise your hand and we will bring you up on the Discord stage.
Chatterino.
Also, Clen, I need you to invite me.
We are going to be debating exclusivity for the final
So, chat, real
time.
quick, we went
yeah.
out. we went all out with
25v1
this.
against Clark. We made a Fortnite
our
map.
boy
Wait,
Stupefied
listen to what
W
he's saying.
He created a whole map just for this stream.
W Stu.
W Stu, let's get W's and check in the chat for Stu. The map is called the debate room. We will be handing out
Also,
custom keys to the people that are going to be entering the debate in a momentarily.
Crater,
Stu,
join
say hi.
Clark's
Everybody give Stu
Discord.
virtual
Yeah,
hugs.
Stu's not
Faz, join Clark's
Well, welcome
Discord.
to the map.
It
We're
looks
gonna be
great.
in a
It looks great.
stage
Nobody's
in
seen
there.
it. Oh, that's not true. It's in my thumbnail.
No, this is
The
not
map
Willis's map.
absolutely beautiful.
Dude, I made a good thumbnail, man. I was
Willis's
excited.
map wouldn't work for this idea. You'll see.
Clark,
Wait,
when you gonna
if
stop
this map
playing
doesn't
the
work,
damn
though, we can
game?
use that.
When I stop
Also,
making
chat,
money,
my map came out
playing
today.
it.
You should play. It's got
Or when I get bored.
155.8 thousand players. Chat, you should play this
One
map.
of the two. Until I find something better to do.
Yeah, I'm really interested on how this is gonna go. But yeah,
I think
anybody
this will be
watching,
very-
anybody just coming in, we just saw.
Yes,
some
Gator.
viewership
Towards
too,
the
so
end of the
again,
stream, we're
anybody
gonna
who is
hop on.
coming to actually debate, I said
I died
Fortnite
a lot
game
in your
chat.
game.
Sorry about that. We're switching it over to the Discord. You can find
Yes,
Clark's
make sure-
Discord in his description and in the exclamation point Discord.
Exclamation mark Discord is the command if you are in my chat if you have signed up for this debate. We do have
What's
some
up, Peter?
people
What's up,
watching
Platt?
in the Discord, in the stage. Hello to y'all as well. But what we're going to be doing is we are going to be bringing certain people
Amos says thank you for the
on.
9 months.
Lunch said, "Look at Discord DMs. He can't come up and tell you something."
I can diable the possibility. Oh, I can disable the possibility for people to raise their hand. You invite them to speak by right-clicking on their names. Okay, I can do that then. Lunch, that's fine.
Perfect.
Oh, look, Furious is here too. Good,
Woo!
good, good.
This is exciting.
I think it would be helpful to let everybody know the rules on how this is gonna work.
I was gonna do that
Um,
like literally
oh.
right before we started. I thought that was gonna
Okay,
be best.
we can do that when we get in there. Have you handed out the custom key to
Yeah,
Everybody-
everybody that messaged me, I give you the custom key. It's still going to be the same custom key. You have the map code there as well. Nothing changed there. The only thing that changed was actually the way we're speaking. Sound good?
Yeah,
Yep.
sorry, I was reading something.
Me too.
Where am I?
Now, do only one of us need to put in the custom key? So I'll switch my.
Yes.
Yes.
Whoever is party leader, right?
Am I party leader?
I made Clen party leader. You're
Okay.
Yo,
got it.
Crater, did you join Clark's Discord?
Cool. This will be fun.
All right, and make it private.
It's interesting. I'm
I'm excited, man. I'm excited to see how this is gonna go.
Have it on public, Clen, or else no one will be able to
most
get in.
people
Sorry.
think they should
Alright,
come
ready to go?
back. I think, but I'm not positive.
I said just ready up. Yep. Okay. All right, debaters. This is your moment. Clen should have sent you the island code as well as the custom key. Put that bad boy in.
Oh, what server?
Incorrect.
NA East.
NA East. Yep. Enter at your own peril.
Do you have the start game button, Clen?
We
No.
tried to put you in the matchmaking queue, but something went wrong. What
I
the
got
hell?
that too.
Just load it again.
It might. You need. I think we need everybody to unqueue. Clen has to be the first one to activate the code.
Okay.
So
And
if
everybody
anybody's
unready.
queued up,
Oh,
don't. Yeah.
fuck.
I'm gonna swap us to a different creative game very briefly, and then put us back as well. 'cause
Yeah,
the
just to be on the
update
safe side.
pushed.
Sounds good.
So it could be that
Did the update fix the camera thing?
I don't know how to fix.
Okay,
that yet.
I'm just
That's
not gonna
gonna
leave the
come.
camera. I'm
Yeah.
just not gonna leave the camera.
The update I pushed made it to where if you load in late, you still just spawn in.
Okay.
And as
What's up,
well
Brett?
as trying to see if I can get people to register off of the vote system.
Yeah, Clark ready.
Okay. My bad.
I have that stupid Lucas song stuck in my head. Have you guys ever watched that movie?
Nope.
That's all my
Caspi
baby's
with
been
2
watching.
pound.
Hey, Caspi.
Maybe queue player is 5. Okay, y'all just start queuing up.
Caspi, I loved your video
Oh,
today.
bet.
Nice. Appreciate the 2 pound Caspi. Thank you, bro. Perfect. FNAF 4 videos. W.
I
I'm gonna
always
actually
forget that
mute.
motherfucker, Brit.
If you need to put in the keys,
Oh.
scroll down to the Discover page. You should
I'ma
see a
pause
custom
notice.
key button.
Hey, Stu.
And
Oh,
you
sorry.
can hit right trigger for custom key and type in.
Stu, are people able to join? Like,
FOMO
or do I have
at
to
its
wait for a bunch of people to
finest.
queue before I start the game?
How do I get
recommend
in?
queuing when
Aquish.
The number gets really high.
Okay,
People
okay.
can join
Do you
later.
actually
It may
wanna
be
join?
custom
I might-
code.
like,
I don't know how
okay.
to
I
do
could
it.
probably
Which
get
is
you.
Yeah, well, we can
I
wait.
could
I didn't-
probably
I
get
didn't
you
give
in if
anybody
you
else
want to
the custom
join.
key,
If
so-
you're serious
Perfect.
and you know what we're doing.
Perfect. Perfect. How many people have messaged you and confirmed?
Confirmed? Let me check. I have the list over here. Just
Yeah,
a
the
moment.
out of everyone that you sent the key to.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. JoJo has 2 people. 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. Hang on. Did I count JoJo's people? I'm so sorry, everybody. I'm not going to count JoJo's people in this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19 people, including JoJo. So that's all the people I sent the code to.
One of my people dropped out to family stuff, so
Coward!
sorry about
No,
that. I agree.
Well, you know what? If it's
That's
taking
fine.
too long, we can. If anybody in the chat wants to, we can just shoot someone else.
Dude, Aquish,
Like,
your
Passion, I
pussy
see you
ass
over there.
should join.
Like Passion, I see you want to date. Want to debate over there. I almost said you want to date.
Wow! Wow! Okay, Predator.
No,
Clen's gonna be
Hey,
canceled in December.
no. Passion is a nice, handsome man.
Doctor
And
disrespect.
what's
over
their-
here.
what's their age?
I
Yeah.
actually don't know
Yeah,
Passion's age, but he's not a minor.
Are you sure about that?
You sure? 'Cause
Yes, I'm
Passion
sure.
told me yesterday that he was 15. That's crazy, Clen.
Yo, my chat's scared of you, Clark.
They are.
Why?
Yeah, they said they're not gonna join because you're gonna pull some like crazy fucking like in the UALA. The Fortnite database says
I don't even need that.
Clark, I had a lot of
even
people
need- I don't
saying
even
that
need
you're
the-
going to argue in bad faith.
I've never argued in bad faith. Ever. You can't even point to an example where that's happened.
Okay, so
Oh wait, sorry, Clen. What servers are you on, by the way? Just
NAE.
everyone.
Yo,
everybody.
Okay.
hold on. Is that my boy Terrence Duke coming to support? Let's go.
Who's Terrence?
Lord
Duke?
Duke
Cool
is
stuff.
here!
I
Let's
can't just let
go! Oh, man, I feel
anyone
so much
in.
better that Terrence is
I
here.
don't know
Oh,
who
man,
you are,
Terrence
so
knows.
if you stick around the
Terrence
streams
knows.
longer,
That's
and
one
I
of my
know
IRL
who you
friends.
are and
Let's
stuff, you
go!
can join events
Yeah, we
like
get
this.
W's and
But
check in the chat for my boy Terrence.
I do not know who you are. I'm sorry.
Even my boy Young Cornbread, who is actually one of my
Say hi to
first
Little Crater.
he's
shit.
one of the team members of my
Can't
first
wait for the
Fortnite
debate.
squad
I
ever.
know, I'm excited.
Even he couldn't resist hearing about this Fortnite battle pass.
Sorry,
debate,
cool
bro.
stuff.
Let's go.
No can
good.
do.
Let's go.
So,
He's and just to make it clear, he's an OG.
I love
So,
that.
This is a serious thing we planned for.
So
like,
I think
literally
it's
a
safe
week,
to say
bro.
I can ship the code over to a couple more people.
Yeah, send it to send it to everybody.
Passion, I'll send
Yeah,
it. I'll
you
send it to
time
you on
them out for
Discord.
10 minutes.
And just to be clear, you have to have the
Stupid
position that
bitch.
battle passes should come back. Should.
Yes.
battle passes.
Everyone has to
Lunch,
disagree
what
with me.
the
Is me versus 25. So I'm saying the battle passes should not come back. Your position is your job is to change my mind or
lunch.
argue well why they should.
W lunch. Holy fuck.
All right, Passion, I'm sending it to you on Discord. I'm just copying and pasting the message.
I can't hear you as well as I can hear everyone else.
And if anybody else wants to come in, we still have some spots. I don't know what's
Did my mic
I don't know what
setting?
we're waiting for, but
Do I sound loud or quiet to you guys?
You sound good.
to me.
You sound beautiful. Okay.
A couple of people are saying they're in like a separate queue.
It means they're on the wrong server.
Are they on? Yeah, make sure you're on
Right.
NA East.
Let me turn.
Yeah.
We got 18 people here that are clearly
Clen,
the
you-
right one.
I needed all lowercase Clen, right?
Capital C.
Yeah, Dad,
Capital
great
C.
job. Great
Wow.
job giving.
Dang. You just said the.
It's fine. It's fine.
Yo,
sorry,
yo,
sorry.
yo, yo, dag.
sorry.
Fucking Dad broke the first rule of broke the first
Yo,
rule
you
of
are
content creator.
some stupid. You are a content creator, bro. How did you just do that?
Bro, what do like? How did you get to 1 million on any platform? But that kind of like.
Bro, this is basically Watergate, except a
Uh.
Fortnite map. So, dag, yeah, you're going to prison.
Nice
Yeah.
job. Nice job, Dad.
I got a
Oh,
message from.
Okay,
Blue Eye, can I
hopefully
join? There we go.
my shit
Just
is
guys,
working.
I'm sorry
Also,
to not say hello to
Aquash,
you.
what did
here
you say?
today.
What's
Just
up, Johnny?
copying and pasting a message.
how you doing? I hope you're well. Just tired, but I'm worried for the stream. I disagree with Klarque. I hope this doesn't get too heated. It might get heated, but it'll be fun. You know,
Impressive, chat. Impressive.
it's
A
When's
lot of
Olympics
people
here?
are clearly
X50.
passionate about this. Yo,
What
listen.
the fuck, Dad?
Like the stream, share the stream, put it on Twitter,
Lunch,
all
thank
your
you for the
socials,
50
get
bits.
everybody talking about it. This is the debate to end all debates. After tonight, I have no intentions to cover this topic ever again.
same.
Whatever happens, move unless something crazy happens.
Ooh.
But this, if you want my complete ultimate breakdown of my positions, this is the place to be tonight. I don't want to have to go over this ever again. I have thought this through, I think, to the fullest that I can. I don't think there's anything else I could think through other than what I've done so far.
Right,
So
I got a few messages. So,
Chat,
sorry guys, I know this is rude to just
This is
not
hella weird.
acknowledge
It's
you just
crazy.
copying, pasting the
I do
message
think
to
I
you,
have a
just
good
so you know.
point in this debate. We'll see. Is Tim Sweeney gonna join the debate? That'd be fucking pog.
All right, that should bump it up.
is this going to be a YouTube video? Yes, this will be a YouTube video on Clen's channel. If you have not already,
I
subscribe
agree,
to
Keza.
Clen.
Well, thank
The
you.
edited version of this will be on Clen's YouTube. You type in Clen Fortnite, it'll pop right up because Clen's got like 8,000 YouTube channels. CLEN, just to make it clear.
And I have to fight with clenbuterol more than anything.
Yeah, type in Clen Fortnite on YouTube. Yo, can you imagine my power dies in the middle of all this?
Oh
That would
god,
be so horrible.
dude, that's what happened. I just hope my Wi-Fi doesn't go out again. Oh my god.
We've got 20.
Well, we're not playing Click, so we shouldn't have a problem with that this time.
True. Unless you DDoS me, you're gonna send fucking I don't even know TS on my ass or some shit.
Trust me, bro. I won't need to DDoS anybody for this.
For real. Thank you for the
Oh, and guys,
raid.
something I forgot to say is after we're gonna be playing JoJo's map. He just launched a map.
Wait,
Yes,
are we doing that on stream?
If we
assumed
can.
That's what you wanted. I'm sorry.
I
Yeah.
want to give JoJo access to my audience.
Me either. You know, I changed my mind. Let's play
Yeah, you know, fuck
Coliseum.
him. Yeah, we should totally play Crack Coliseum. That's a way better map. Hey, Clen, we
When's
should make you a
Olympics
map
here?
too.
X50. He'll send me out.
Also,
Thanks,
you guys
guys.
want to play the new version of box game PvP? Minigame box PvP? I heard that's out.
That is awesome.
With the Haichu collab? I think that sounds
Yeah,
amazing.
yeah.
We should totally do that, guys. I mean, what? Who's JoJo again? No.
That's it.
Oh,
I'm
well,
going the
I
you're
don't care
racist arc
about-
for this debate.
Okay, bet. It still won't save you. Especially now that you're getting
Ooh.
You don't want to go to that rabbit hole would hurt you more than me. Let's be honest.
I don't know. JoJo's pretty good at that.
Being racist? Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Like, you're the one with the little racist disciple loot station, okay? I walked in on
Little
him wearing,
racist.
he was trying on different hoods that night. I saw it.
Jojo,
Oh my gosh.
listen, I know what you and Luke talk about behind the scenes when it's just you two. That's when he can really give out his opinions. Also, don't you find it a strange coincidence how Loot Station was so emboldened to talk about all these certain topics every time we get into a stream with you specifically? Like he doesn't talk like that. He doesn't talk like that when it's just me and him playing. But when you play, you talk
So
about
you
Howard's
think-
wife and brings up all these racist jokes. As a matter of fact, he did it twice in 1 week by playing with you. Once for when it was you, me, and Clen, and the other time when it was all the content creators in the VC right after the live event.
Wait,
How
what
much
did
you
he-
hated rappers.
Yeah.
No,
No,
so
no,
Chief
I don't know,
Cooper,
I was saying you
no,
emboldened
we love.
him.
It's only positive things about Stu right now because he made the whole map.
Also, wait, didn't I see a Clan?
True!
Lunch
Chad.
here. X1000. Guys buy
Lunch,
Factor
thank
using
you.
JoJo's link also
Yo,
substance
Chad, this stream is
PTSD.
sponsored by
Oh,
Factor.
Postcard.
If you want, get a box. Gives me
Is that way out
$70,
with an
and it
embroiderment
gives
that said
you
the South will
a
rise?
week of
Crazy.
food, and it's
Michael,
good
I'm
food.
trying, but
Go
it's
buy
not
it.
working. NA East, and the code did not change. It's the exact same code. It's
I
the
think
same
we
map code.
almost have everyone.
I don't know why it wouldn't be working.
We're
Yeah, it's
very
not
close
working
to
for
being at the
Furious
amount.
either for some reason. But
That's weird.
He's on NA
Yeah.
East, and he
Yeah.
has everything in right.
hmm
Mm.
hmm
All I can suggest if it is like consistently not working and you're on
Mhm.
NA East is just restart your game and try again.
Yeah,
Yeah.
same.
yeah, apparently he's in a
Sometimes
queue
the
with
game
like
just
4
freaks out.
people.
Especially
Oh look,
if
it's
you're on
Loot
a
Station.
console.
Hi, Lit.
Loot
Like if you're on
station.
a console and you have quick resume will break the game. We have
What is-
25 people in the queue.
Beautiful. How many players does the map hold?
30.
Up to 30. Yeah,
about ready.
right
It
now
looks like
we've
you're in.
got,
Good.
I
Good.
guess,
Good.
like,
Yo, Gootsy,
20
you are
we have
down
23
bad.
Debaters, Klarque,
I clicked the
and
link
then,
and bought
like,
on
26
30 different
hosts.
accounts. Oh, Aquash, let's go.
I
we've
need. I'm
got
gonna need
23
to.
debaters plus Klarque and
W
2 hosts.
Aquash.
I think we're about ready to let this bad boy go off.
Yeah, we're about ready to go.
So once
How about
again,
we? How about we wait
everybody-
till 12 minutes?
Yo,
I
chat,
think
I
it's a good
still
idea.
have
but
no
this I'll
OnlyFans.
use this as a time to remind everybody, all debaters, make sure you're in my Discord and you are waiting in the stage. The only people that should be raising their hands to talk are the people that are going to be debating me. So I'm currently live in my Discord in the stage right now, as well as on YouTube and Twitch. But for the sake of this debate, the only people that should be raising their hands to come up on stage to talk are the people that are sitting in the chair on the Fortnite map. Clen and Stu will explain the rules of how the rules of engagement for how this is going to go, so it'll make more sense to you in a moment. But every debater needs to be in the Discord.
Perfect.
Bet.
I'm excited. I was looking forward to this like all week.
I am looking forward to this a lot.
I'm
very,
looking
very
forward
curious
to
to
Yo,
see
why
this
is there an
unfold.
anime girl?
Be honest,
Oh,
be
it's the
fun.
chat.
27.
27, nice.
We just need one more 28 and we'll be set.
Yep, Tom just had to restart his game. He's in now.
Good.
Let's go.
Nice.
I mean, it might be 24 because my one person dropped out. If that's
That's we
That's
actually that
fine.
would make
That's
sense.
more than enough.
We should be set to go then. I think.
Yeah.
I think we're good.
Ready?
Let's do
Well,
it.
to be
Alright,
fair, we did say
wanna-
12 minutes. Let's just wait 20 seconds.
No. I think you should go back on your word now. Oh wait, hold on. I'm getting ahead of myself.
oh
You see,
god.
Jay, I saw Mr. JOI somewhere. If you're still here, Jay, I didn't get to finish your video today, but I scrolled through the comments when I started watching it, and oh boy, because he said he wrote like, "Is it okay for Epic Games to go back on their word?" That's what he was talking about.
Yeah, that video was very interesting, very eye-opening.
Fishy leader, there is a solid chance you can just load in after we start anyways. The match is public. Just enter the code and join.
Let's hope for the best. Let's hope for the best.
Also,
Yeah,
Just
but I
any
just
new
needed
touch-
people that could
Sorry, go ahead.
confirm.
no, go ahead, Clen.
If any of you touch
Plus, we already had
host
Max.
controls, I'm never doing anything with you ever again on any stream.
True, true. Same goes here.
There's no reason for you to accidentally touch the host stuff.
Yeah.
Dark Eye said he got kicked out somehow.
Oh no!
He might be able to rejoin from your friends list if you have any of them added.
Look at all the nice skins. What the heck skin is this? Blue eyes. That's a
So
nice skin. What
I
skin is that?
I think it's a style for a skin.
Oh yeah, Darth Vader is gonna cook you, Clark.
Hey, look at how beautiful this map is.
I
Look at what our
know.
boy Stupefied did. Isn't this amazing?
Thank you, Stu.
You're very welcome.
Oh shit. Sheesh.
You should be thanking me. I paid for the fucking map. No, I'm joking.
Punch still in the lobby.
Wait, so just to confirm, you like run to the chair and crouch in it?
I'll explain it before we start.
Okay,
I'll
okay.
explain it before we start.
I just wanted to know if you
Whoever
press a
gets in the
button.
chair first gets to debate.
Where's Crater? Oh, Jesus Christ.
So when the game starts, everybody go sit in a chair on the outside. Don't rush to the chair on the debate stage.
Yeah.
Is Crater in?
Oh, one thing I wanted to clarify, Clint. No part of this should be debating whether battle passes can come back, right? That's more of a separate argument.
Yeah, it's should they come back
It's
or
should
not?
they?
Yes.
Like some people
Yeah.
might argue can't, like the whole loophole thing, but that's not really what we're debating
Right.
here. It's more of well, I'll
When
let
you all
Clint
get to your chair, hit your button and unhit it to unregister you from the vote system because for some reason, it'll do that.
So wait, am I supposed to
And
sit
your
down?
button
And
will be to your right when you're sitting in the chair.
got it.
hold on. What am I supposed to do? Am I supposed to just sit right down because I can't?
This is
You
so
just hang out.
nice.
You
Look at
just
this.
Still in the chair, Clerk. I think.
I just
Okay, if you have not hit
All
your
right.
button, activate it and unactivate it so it's dark.
Wait. Hold on. What am I supposed to do?
Okay.
I think there's
Clark,
some.
You just sit in the chair. You just pick a chair, Clark.
I can't sit down in it though. Am I supposed to be able to sit down or just?
Yeah,
do this?
you,
No, you
the
just-
reason you're not able to sit in the chairs is because it prevents players from interacting with anything while they're in them, so they can't hit buttons or do anything of that sort.
Yeah, so just crouch in it.
Okay. shut
Okay.
up.
Everybody ready?
Okay, we have.
Yes, sir.
Some people have not hit their buttons though because
Maybe the empty chair over here.
So, well, that just means people haven't activated them
Oh no, lunch isn't in the game.
because you need to hit
button's
your
right
button
there.
and unhit it.
Oh,
Turn
Aqua's
on
joined.
lock.
Aqua's joined.
Oh, you did join.
It could be people kind of in the limbo though.
Dude, this is so cool. This is awesome, Stu.
I mean, we could just say that when it hits 16 votes, then we do it or something instead of the 13.
If you
Does
want
any?
to, it will just run a queue. It runs a message whenever you hit 13, so it'll be kind of weird. But
Honestly, I think we should just leave it at 13.
Okay.
13.
yeah, if it works, it works. That's cool. That's cool.
It's fine. Yeah, it's fine.
Anyways,
All right,
Everybody hit their
everybody
button?
ready?
Oh,
so
oh gosh.
Okay, so how this is gonna work is you guys are gonna take turns debating Clark. When we say go, whoever gets to sit on the chair first is first to debate. If you are not debating, you sit on all of the other chairs. You don't run around the map. Otherwise, we're gonna kill you with our pump shotgun. You won't be able to play again. If you do not like the conversation that's going on or want to swap with people, that's what your button's for. Once we get to 13 people voting to swap, the conversation will end and the next person can come and debate at any point. If Clark just wants to debate somebody specifically, he's allowed to just say who wants to come up and then that person can come debate next. Stu, anything to add?
no, that sounds good to me.
Awesome. So, Clark, I'll give you the go ahead. Whenever you say go, people can run up.
So wait, I get an opening statement.
Yeah,
real
you
quick.
do.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
Okay. No, it's
Clark
fine.
does get an opening statement.
Yeah.
Perfect. All right. So let me switch screens real quick.
Oh gosh.
We can do this.
Here it is.
First of all, I want to thank everybody that came to debate me today, everybody that came to view the stream. This is a very important conversation in Fortnite history that we are going to be having today. And I think what's most important is that we set the narrative straight because for too long, the narrative has been pushed in one specific direction. I know that the position that I have is completely unpopular, that I'm some kind of monster that wants to prevent people from being able to enjoy the skins that they love the most. But that, unfortunately, is what my opposition has diluted and gaslit the entire community into thinking that this conversation is about. What I am going to try to prove today is that this conversation has nothing to do necessarily with just it being about Fortnite skins. That is a cheap tactic that has been used by people to gaslight, demean, and demoralize people that actually want to maintain the integrity of the cosmetics that they bought, but more importantly, the people that want Epic Games to be held to their word. The thing that my opposition must do today is they must prove to me, as well as all of you, that Epic Games should go back on the word and ultimately profit off of a lie that they want to give to the community if Battle Pass exclusivity for old Battle Passes goes away. Because at the core of this debate, this is the issue. It's not about gatekeeping Fortnite skins from people. It's not about being able to flex Fortnite skins in front of others. It's about Epic Games going back on their word and being able to profit off the lie that would be a result of them giving these cosmetics to everybody. That is what I am advocating for. Truth, morality, and overall the preservation of Fortnite, not exclusivity, but Fortnite culture, which ironically is what my competition is going to try to give you a lot of good reasons as to why they think that that should be completely thrown out the window. Finally, what I want to do today is not necessarily change the minds of the people listening to me, but for the people that are either on the fence or the people that have my position, I want to be able to give you ammunition for reasons why you should want Battle Pass exclusivity. Many of my friends that are here today have said that they do not care about this issue one way or another. But let me tell you this, whether it's Clen or Mr. JOI, whomever, every single person should care about this issue because this is fundamentally one of the most important decisions that Epic Games can ever make in the history of the game. One decision or another can potentially destroy the entire integrity of Fortnite culture and, more importantly, the trust that Epic Games has built 7 years of creating with their community. If you are for the destruction of the culture, if you're for the destruction of trust, you will stand against what I have to say today. And I also want to make one last thing very clear. I think a lot of the people that are actually in opposition to me were bullied and harassed into changing their position. A lot of people had to overnight change their perception and opinion on this because they were gaslit into believing that they were some horrible person because they cared too much about Battle Pass exclusivity. Well, as you're going to see here today, there are a lot of good reasons to care about Battle Pass exclusivity. And for those people who are on the fence or who agree with me, I want to give you the ammunition to be able to defend your position. And for those who disagree, if I just so happen to change your perspective on the way on through this entire journey today, hey, that's netted benefit. Let's get into this shit.
I love it. That's a great opening statement. Clark,
Yo,
I'll
Lunch,
give
you
the
cannot just say,
go-ahead for
bro,
whenever you
yeah,
want people to
God,
go.
while during
Start
that,
running
and not
up.
expect me to laugh.
Run it up. Who's first? All right, looks like Blue Eye Official is the first one. Hold on a second. I just realized a flaw in what I was saying earlier. When I told my mods not to be in here, I actually do need one mod to be in here. That way they can bring up the different people. So actually, Lunch is here. Lunch so listen, Blue Eye Official. What I need you to do is I need you to raise your hand.
I'm beginning to
on
feel
Discord,
like a
and Lunch is gonna bring you up.
God.
Beautiful. Lunch, can you grab him?
Chad, where do you stand on this
Excellent.
topic?
We got
What
Blue
would
Eye.
your argument be? That way I
Hey,
can have
how's it
some good
going?
arguments.
What's up, man? Welcome.
All right. Where do we start?
Well, where do you want to start? Why should Epic Games go back on their word and lie to their community?
All right. So the thing is, I understand like both sides of the argument. Like I can get behind like both opinions of why they should and shouldn't return. And I've like kind of thought about it for a while. And like the thing is, I feel like one thing that a lot of people like don't talk about is even if like you bought the skins and like own them, you don't actually own them. Technically the real person who only owns them is Epic Games themselves.
Why does that matter?
Because they like made the skins, and since they're like digital and everything, if they want to, like the next day they could put out an update deleting all the skins. Like the only real people who own them
do
are
not
Epic
go
Games
press other people's
themselves.
buttons.
So they're the ones who can like make all the decisions because they like
Let's say
own
that
the
that's
rights.
true.
to all of them.
Why is that a good reason for Epic Games to go back on their word and profit off of a lie?
I mean, if we think about it, yes, there is a lot of like people that are gonna complain about their like skins returning.
Hang on, wait, real quick. Let me just make something clear. It's not about the amount of people that are going to complain about something. It's about the integrity of the product that you offered. If you advertise
Yo,
something
bro,
as exclusive, you
saying
advertise
it's
something
not
as
your
being able to
skin
come back
is
and you profit off of that
crazy.
thing, right? Then 7 years later, you turn around and be like, haha, just kidding. And then you offer that thing again to double your profit. That's objectively wrong. So regardless of who owns the legal rights to the skin, why is it that Epic Games should be able to do that, even if they do have the legal rights? See, the legality of it and the morality of that are two separate but should be related situations. But I don't want to get down to the legal rabbit hole. But I'm asking you specifically is why do you think that even if Epic Games does have all the legal right to the skin, right? Why should they go back on their word and give that ability or that legal license to other people to, I guess in essence, you're arguing rent the skins. Why should they give more? Why should they go back on the word and allow more people to be able to rent those skins, even though there's only they promise a limited number of people being able to rent those?
Well, like, I mean, I'm thinking about it like, it's like sort of like, how am I supposed to explain this? Like, I don't really think anything's like exclusive, because technically, like, anything at any time.
Oh
could,
my
like,
gosh,
come
those
back or
buttons went up
happen.
like
How did you come
crazy.
to the
Like, out
conclusion that
knowing.
this isn't exclusive?
What do you say?
How did you come to the conclusion that these aren't exclusives?
Well, it's sort of like, I mean, like they like you can like say something, but just because you say something doesn't mean it's like
So
true.
your
And they're
word
like,
doesn't mean anything, right? So Epic Games should go back on the word, which is what I'm arguing. Right?
yeah, like sort of. I mean, at the same time.
No, not hang on, not sort of. That's what you're advocating for, right? You want them to
I wanna
lie and
press-
profit off the
I wanna
lie,
press-
correct?
Not necessarily, but I think
hold
they
on,
can
no,
like.
no, hang on, wait, hold on. Are these exclusives? Were they advertised as exclusives up until Chapter 5, Season 4?
Yo,
Yeah.
this is not working out.
Okay, so
No,
they
it's
were
working out.
sold and Epic
Can
Games
two
profited
more
off the
people
fact that they were
press?
exclusives, correct?
Two more.
Yeah.
So why should Epic Games be able to double profit and lie to their community off of exclusives that they offered?
Because it opens opportunities for new people to get them that never had the chance.
Why is that more? Wait, hold on. So your argument is, well, they can make more money. Why is making more money more valuable than your integrity?
1, 2, 3.
Because it
4, 5,
helps
6, 7,
promote
8,
the game in
9,
the
10,
future for them to
11,
push
No,
it
that
more
doesn't.
out.
That damages the game in the
13.
future.
Wait.
Not necessarily, because it can
Hold on,
like
wait.
bring new players
You're
to the
trying to tell
game.
me that the world's most popular video game and a billion-dollar company going back on their word for something that they promised their community is not damaging to the game? You genuinely believe that?
I mean, in the long term, it'll actually like sort of help, because the older players, like the more they play, like the old players, they're gonna like outgrow the game, and there's gonna be like a new generation of players coming to the game. So their focus should be like the new players more than the old ones.
They're hold on a second. Wait. Their focus is the new players, but their focus being on the new players does not mean that they should lie. Listen, even if some people are quote unquote able to benefit, which I would argue is not a benefit, right? Giving people what they want isn't always necessarily a benefit, right? Any screaming toddler in a toy store, if their parents give in to them, it's not a benefit that they gave in to them. But specifically with this situation, it's not a benefit to the community if Epic Games lies, because I guarantee you, the same people that are advocating for Epic Games to go back on the word are the same people that will turn around and shit on them 2 years from now and be like, Epic Games is a shitty, greedy billion-dollar company. Look at how they went back on the word with exclusives. We can't trust them for shit.
I mean, this is like the first time they've had like
Chad, I
a
just
big lie, but
told
at the
Dag
same
want me
time,
to hit
people
his
need to realize they've
button
been
and he
like
did.
lying this whole time, but just like
Because they've lied in
it's
the
gone
past, that means that they
unnoticed.
should continue to do so, right?
What?
Because they've lied in the past, that means they should continue to do so, right?
Not necessarily.
Well, hold on, stop, bro. Okay, I'm gonna be real with you. You keep saying not necessarily, but like you need to have a firm stance on this. You need to know what you believe and why. And if you going back and forth and straddling the fence saying not necessarily is not a good argument. I need to know where you stand on this. And quite frankly, you have not given a good reason why a company should go back and lie to their community. It doesn't matter how many people it quote unquote benefits, right? It doesn't matter how much money they can make. It's objectively a bad thing to do to lie to people and profit off of
Okay,
a lie.
thank you,
If
Launch.
any
Thank you.
bank
One
did this,
cheered.
they would be in
X100.
serious
I
trouble.
told Stupefied.
Imagine you go to a bank, right? And you deposit money, right? And the bank says, we have this account is exclusively for you. You are the only person that's able to withdraw and deposit money into this account. Next week, you come to find out that your ex-girlfriend went to the bank and withdrew your money. The bank told you that the account was exclusive to you, but your ex-girlfriend was able to pull it out. You wouldn't go to the bank and be like, oh, well, I mean, it benefited my ex-girlfriend, so fuck it. No, that would be a problem. Everybody has a problem with people going back on the word until it has to do with money or sex. And if you're being honest with yourself, you'll realize that this is a problem.
Yeah, so basically the side I stand on is I basically
Yeah, the
do
buttons are
think they should
glitched.
return because of the fact that it opens opportunities for like more things to come in the future as well, but not just for
Hold on a
battle
second. Wait,
passes.
no, hold on a second. No, creating new cosmetics would create more opportunities.
Yes.
All
to,
right, we got to
someone
stop
coming
it
in the
right
future.
there. We got enough votes.
Thank you.
Well, I thank you for coming.
Can I say something?
All right, you're welcome.
It's
Well, that's up to Clark if he wants to drag you right up.
no. It's a little bit
Oh,
glitched.
sorry.
It's a little glitched.
Sorry.
There was 13 votes for like 3 minutes there.
Oh no.
I went
Okay,
around to
I'll pay
try.
attention.
I counted. Yeah, count the people. Is there any way to manually hit the like stop thing?
I can hit it myself.
Okay, well, Stupefy, whenever you like see
yes, we'll do that.
13 lights lit up, then do it because I saw 13 for like probably halfway into
I
that
don't know.
conversation.
I don't know
Sorry, I
why
should have been
it's
paying
working right.
attention.
That's very strange.
No, you're good.
Alright,
I just
well,
wanted to work.
Sit back
I
down,
just wanted
please.
to
Thank
work.
you for jumping up, bro.
Thanks, Blay.
Yeah, I'll just give it some extra. I won't count the timer down for a little while. I'll just like set a timer on my phone.
Okay, that
'cause
works.
We essentially wasted a bunch of time.
All right. So, Clark, when you say go, people can run up unless there's someone specifically you'd like to speak to.
Cool. Go.
All right, I am muted. Okay. Hopefully now we get a better.
Drag AB trains made it. Everybody sit down. Drag AB trains up.
Wait, why did Muffin Man just work on me, bro? I think hopefully
vote
now this
already?
works a little bit better.
Get him out.
Okay, hang on, guys. You can't vote just because you didn't get in. Please be honest.
Hello.
Yo.
Hey, AB.
Hello.
Okay,
Welcome.
this should work now.
So, okay, there's only really one thing I can think of. But, I mean, it's been 5 years since Chapter 1 ended.
Okay.
Don't, like, if they bring back old battle passes, like, I mean, that should be enough time, in my opinion.
Why? Why is that enough time to lie?
Well,
What is the purpose of an exclusive?
it's a point there. Sorry, hold on, I'm just trying to think here.
I'm trying to be nice. I'm trying to be nice.
I just think, 5 years. I've already said that. But shoot.
Well, integrity has no time limit, my friend. That's pick a different argument.
Sorry.
There's no time limit on integrity. And what you're advocating for is actively a destruction of integrity. It doesn't matter how long it's been. And not only that, you still have to answer the question, what is the purpose of exclusive?
I'd say the purpose of exclusives is, well, it's only available for.
Speak up a little bit, please. Speaking to the mic.
Sorry,
It's hard to hear
sorry.
you.
Sorry. Well, the purpose of exclusives is they're available for a certain amount of time, so.
For a limited amount of time, correct. Okay, what else?
And, well, no one else can get them after.
Right. So in essence, to provide a unique experience for the people that are there to that are able to participate in it. Correct? Can we
Yo,
agree
that
on
was like the single
All
best
right, we
bit
gotta
ever.
cut you guys there. The vote cap got reached. AB, I'm very sorry.
Oh shit.
Well, thanks. I
a great
You,
respect it.
AB.
All right, everybody, go.
Oh, Struckman's so close.
Yeah,
Very
bro,
nice.
he almost
Hydra.
got it.
Vacuum Hydra, please raise your hand in the
Yeah,
Discord. We'll
Muffin
bring you up
Man,
next.
stop working on me, bro. Dude, Johnny, when he said, I already said that. Fuck.
All right, hello.
Welcome.
Hey, Hydra.
All right,
Shit.
I just want to make a quick introduction. I love the Broke Boys. I've been watching you since Chapter 4.
Let's go.
And,
Hey,
Thank you.
So
appreciate it.
the first thing I'm gonna bring up is if Epic Games does go back on their word, it is a scummy thing in general.
Oh, so
but
you agree
you
with my
have-
position?
No, well, not partly, but not exactly. I do have a couple ways how they can bring back
I got
Battle
awkward.
Pass
Stop.
exclusives.
Hold on a
And-
second. Let me make something very clear to you, really quick. Your
right.
position is not to necessarily be able
Awkward.
to provide
Awkward.
good good examples of how they can make it work per se. It's
Oh
more
my
so
God.
to be able to justify why they should be able to bring back Battle Pass exclusives.
All
Does
right,
that
and
make
I
sense? Like you
yes.
can still use that, but you need to be able to use that to defend your position on why you think it would be a good thing and why them lying
Crater to
is
do it so bad.
ultimately not as much of an issue for whatever you're proposing. Does that make sense?
Yes. Okay.
Go ahead.
So, first things first. I do believe they should bring back OG Battle Pass items. But I do believe the OG owners of it should get something. And I'm gonna bring up the paradigm method. First things first.
That was a mistake.
Yes.
That wasn't.
And
That's not a good.
Yo,
yeah,
Aqua,
but they
stop
could
flicking on my button.
add like an OG style for the OG owners, meaning, but the styles and everything should be available except for the OG style, of course. But I do believe they should, just because. Oh,
sorry, I apologize. I apologize for cutting you off, but doesn't that kick the can down the road? What's to stop players in another 7 years from saying, "Wait, how come they have OG styles? That's not fair that I wasn't there at that time to play." It's going to be the same. It's going to be the same argument. There will be people that are asking for the OG styles, and the argument will then become: if Epic Games truly wants to promote equality and player fairness inside of Fortnite, then what they should do is they should give everybody all OG styles. All accounts should be equivalent for those people that have it, not just the OGs.
And I partly agree, but also disagree. Oh, well, let's be so.
Hey, this kid's had
alright.
like
what I'm getting at is that your solution
a decent
is
argument.
it doesn't solve the problem.
I'll be right
Your
back,
proposed
chat.
solution is it doesn't solve the problem. It kicks the can down the road until the next wave of players get frustrated that somebody else has something that they don't.
And I see that.
You already see it. You already see it with the purple skull trooper.
Yes. So I'll bring up maybe.
May I propose a better alternative?
God.
Yes.
Give the new players that skin, but a reworked version of it. So either change. So I would rather the newer players that are invested into the game have a different version of my skin. For example, what they did with the original Midas, Shadow Midas, Ice Midas, right?
I still think that's a
Give
horrible
players,
argument.
For example, let's say you have Black Knight. You change Black Knight, you turn him
Shadow
into White
Midas
Knight,
is not
but
the
you also give him,
same
like, a
as
really
original
dope,
Midas, man.
Transformational style, or what do they call it? What are those reactive edit styles? You give Black Knight a reactive edit style that goes from white to cubed. Personally, as an OG player, I would absolutely buy that. So you make money off the people that already have the cosmetic, and for the people that were never able to buy it, they will also grab that cosmetic. So
sit down, Lunch.
So an
Damn.
argument that we hear a lot is, oh, Epic Games will make more money if they bring the old cosmetics back. To a certain degree, yeah, but that's one, very short-sighted, and two, they're also limiting the amount of income potential they could have. They can't make any more money off the people that they screwed over, and they also have to destroy their integrity. I propose bring the skin back in a different way, give it a new edit style, give it a reactive style, sell that to the players. You make money off the new players, and you make money off of me. So you make double the profit, and you don't go back in your word and lie to your player base.
I totally see that could definitely work, but I was also gonna propose an idea with something to do with new skins. Now, let's just say Epic Games it's 1 weekend of bringing back old cosmetics. The player base is super angry. Some are happy, but also now they're all questioning: are their skins going to be taken away? But maybe Epic Games would create maybe new skins for OG players now, and that may also apply to the kick the can down the road, or they could possibly your method would work as well.
You and I both know, with respect to you, Vacuum, you and I both know that my method objectively makes the game more money, and it maintains the integrity of the game. What you're advocating for is that you're trying to justify a reason for Epic Games to lie to their community and profit off of a lie, and that's just bad. You haven't given a good reason why they should lie to their community and profit off of it.
All right, can I interrupt right there? Okay, well, the number has just hit there. Stu, when I hear that sound, the number wasn't at 13. Did it hit 13 and just something glitched?
All right. If I could say one thing to you, Clark.
So. Yeah.
I've been in your chat for a bit. I'm Elite Nokia Man. Maybe you've heard my name. That's my user. I'm gonna go off now.
Appreciate
Thanks for coming, Vacuum.
All right. Good to talk to you. All right.
Clen, can I say something really quick?
Yeah.
So, okay. Lunch needs to stop jumping all over the place and hitting my button. But please,
Lunch,
the
come
reason
on.
why it
Yeah,
went to
okay.
13 and then back down to 12 is because Lunch hit someone's button.
Okay. Lunch, we're gonna
Bring
shoot
Lunch
you
up to
next time
talk.
you do that.
Bring
Yeah.
Lunch up to talk.
Bring Lunch
Okay.
up to talk.
All right.
I'm
Lunch,
sorry.
you're
I'm
up.
sorry.
Lunch, walk up to the chair.
Oh crap.
Hello, Lunch on Crack. What do you have?
I'm hitting my button, bro.
I just think everyone needs to shut up.
No, wait, stop. Hold on.
Just
Are
accept
you-
the
are you-
fact that
Go ahead.
I think that they should just accept the fact that Epic is doing something that they've never done before, and at least give him a chance.
What does that mean?
Okay.
Like, give Epic a chance, experiment on this, and if it doesn't, if the feedback isn't as well as what they thought it was going to be, then
They can't
Just
go
not
back
doing
from
it.
this. What if they make the Lunch? If they make this decision, if they give people those cosmetics, they can't go back and take those cosmetics. Be like, psych, double lie. Thanks for your money. We're gonna refund you the V-Bucks, but we're also going to take away all your skins that you bought, and then that way we can keep our promise to the OG. That doesn't work. This is a one and done.
yeah, I guess, yeah.
W debate, Lunch.
So what's your point? It doesn't. You're. Is that the only argument you had, or?
Basically, yeah. Like, I just think, just give Epic a chance.
Give Epic Games a chance to do what?
I just spit my fucking.
Experiment with something that they haven't done before.
No.
All
Be
right, we
specific.
gotta cut it off right there. We
All right.
hit the vote. Thank you for coming, Lunch.
GG's Lunch.
All right, Clark, on your mark.
Go.
It's nice that nobody's going like before you say that. Hello, thank you. Thank you.
Oh my God,
Respectful,
Muffin
everybody.
Man, go to your
It's like
chair.
Struckman made it. Spring
Oh,
Struckman.
he barely missed it last time.
Nice.
Sorry for Matt Jeff.
Nice. By the way, real quick, guys, I just want to say I appreciate the super chats. I will read them later. I just had to turn them off for the sake of the video. That way we were being respectful to Clen and what he's trying to produce.
Come on, Crater,
But I
get
appreciate
in,
all the
bro.
super chats. I see Dark Ice, Big White X, Alt. I think Lunch gave 100 biddies as well. And then Caspi, of course, a £2. I appreciate you guys. Thank you so much. All right, is Struckman up here?
Hey, I'm here.
What's up,
There he
man?
is. Welcome.
What's up?
Go for it. What you got?
All right, man. So I'm going to be honest with you. I really think that you picked the best argument. Okay. So we're having a conversation right now about companies keeping their word, right?
Okay.
So I have a question for you.
Oh, is he gonna
If
do
Epic
it?
Games tomorrow decides, hey guys, we've made a decision. We're going to keep all the passes exclusive, but if you previously purchased them, you can now go back to those passes and finish grinding them out. Do you say, all right, it's a lie, but I'll take it? Or do you say, no, absolutely not. Not okay. It's still a lie.
I like this guy.
What's your stance on that?
I like this guy.
If it's a lie, then no. If they made an agreement to do something, they should hold to their word.
Okay, so all right. And I get that. But you have to understand that if you're trying to convince the vast majority of the community that your side is correct, and you're looking at them, you're saying, guys, do not go back to those old passes. Do not grind them out. It's actually a really bad thing because Epic lied
That's
to
not
you.
what I'm trying
You're
to
gonna
do.
go.
That's what
You're
I'm-
gonna go. Oh
hang
no,
on,
no,
that's
that's
not-
great.
That's what I'm trying to do.
Oh, good,
That's
good.
not the premise. If that's your premise, with all due respect, that's not what I'm trying to do. People are going to do what they want to do. But what I have to do is I have to be consistent with my beliefs, just to make that very clear. Continue.
Yeah, and your beliefs are fine if that's what you want to think. But you're not trying to convince the vast majority of the community that you're correct. You're just saying that I think this is bad, and if you guys want to go for it, go for it. But I'm not going to accept it. That's fine.
The thing that I've learned is that over time, when it comes to truth or certain positions, right, it's not your job to try to convince the other side. It's your job to be able to give answers to the best of your ability. I don't need to try. My goal isn't necessarily to try to, and I said this at the very beginning of the stream. My goal is not to try to necessarily convince people today. But if some people if their opinions end up being changed because of what I said, that's a benefit. However, my job is to be able to defend my position to the best of my ability and explain to everybody why this is a problem, to set the record straight, and to give people with my same viewpoint ammunition to be able to explain why they think it's a problem. Because up until this point, there was nobody else that was able to explain this to the degree that I can.
Okay, we get it.
I
All
had
right.
I had
I got
a
a
year.
question
I had
for
a
you.
year.
One
I had
more
a year. I
question.
had to think about this. But go ahead.
Okay, good. Did you ever play the Xbox 360?
Sure.
Okay. Did you ever play the game? I've got 3 games here. Okay, you don't have to tell me if you. It doesn't matter. Mass Effect, Dead Rising, and
Yo,
Bioshock.
this guy's cooking.
you
I
ever
don't know
play
what he's
those
saying,
games?
but he's cooking.
No, but I'm familiar with a couple of them.
Okay. When you
We get
purchase
it.
that game, right there on the case, in big bold letters, it says only on Xbox 360, specifically.
Ooh.
And if you know anything about these games, all these games, I think they all went to PS3 shortly after. So a company like Microsoft, let's say, puts in big bold letters on their box that this is exclusive.
Okay.
And it isn't. Okay. Now, I'm not saying that that's the right thing to do, but I'm saying if you expect a corporation to not market in this way, they're going to. Because I think you're right.
No,
Yes,
he has a
Epic
good
Games
point
make a lot of
here.
money.
Would you
There's
know
a
the
good
difference
point
between
there,
what
and he's
you're
going the
saying
wrong
and-
route with
and
it.
What you and what Epic Games did?
Sure.
Let me actually, before I make this statement, because I don't want to look like an idiot here. Did Xbox ever say at any point in time that those exclusives would not be offered on other platforms? Did they ever make
It
that
says
promise?
only on
that they wouldn't
Xbox.
be offered on other
If
platforms?
you're saying that someone had to read
No. I'm
small
just
fine print
asking.
somewhere.
Hang
go
on. I'm just asking. Did
Mhm.
Xbox ever promise that they would not
man.
offer those games on other platforms?
I mean, I don't think on those games they ever specifically said that they would not arrive on other
Okay,
platforms.
because
But
this is
obviously
so-
recently
I'm
they
so-
did, right?
I'm so happy you brought this point up because
Okay, good.
this is a fallacy that a lot of people, from with all due respect from your camp, like to bring up. There are different forms of exclusivity. Exclusivity doesn't just take one form. For example, Hasbro has exclusive Transformers to Walmart within a certain time frame.
Which they
So-
have to make, by the way, right? They got to ship it, they got to box it up, they got to manufacture it. But these exclusives
Well-
that are on your account, they exist in the files for everyone, right?
That doesn't have anything to do with what I'm saying here. I have no
Well,
idea
they
why you
are-
even brought
I
that.
mean,
Hang on.
yeah,
I have no
they're
idea.
not-
I
hold on,
agree,
can I finish,
Curve.
please?
Okay,
I have no idea why you even
try.
brought that up. That has nothing to do with what I'm talking about here. So you can have exclusivity within a specific window, right? But when you promise something to never return, when you specifically say, "Hey, this is exclusive to this particular time frame, and it's never coming back," that is different than saying this is exclusive to this platform. Because at any point in the future, the company can go back and recreate the game and put it on a different platform in the future. At that time, for that window of time, the game was exclusive to
I don't
that
see
platform.
why it has
Now,
to be different.
To
though.
be fair to your point, and really all you're doing is giving me more ammunition for mine. If you
If
want to
you
say
think-
that, that was a scummy thing for them to do, you might have an argument with that. And I would
But I'm not
probably
making
be,
that argument.
I would probably be
Oh.
inclined to not necessarily disagree with you, but I think that's a different form of exclusivity. It's a different type of exclusivity than what Epic promised. It's not a fair
Let's
comparison.
talk about this exclusive. Let's talk about this then. All right, you realize that Epic is not reaching into your locker and grabbing one of your skins that you purchased and giving it to someone else,
Why does that
all
matter?
right? Because
that
Epic
matter?
made me the same promise they made you. They said, "Oh, this is exclusive forever."
Okay.
And guess what? After 3 years or so, it's like, okay, cool. Why should I care? Why was 3 years not enough for the $8 you spent on a battle pass? I think you got your money's worth.
Watch, thank you for that, Bits.
Hang on a second. That
Sure,
is
let's hear
completely
it.
missing the point. That does just because you personally and I personally disagree on how we personally care about the distribution of skins in the future does not mean that Epic Games should be able to profit off of a lie, which is what you're advocating for.
Who's going to fix the problem that was created here?
There is no problem. That's the
Oh,
issue.
okay. But here's the
The-
problem that you're not thinking of. Let's think about the Lego mode, right? They had to go in, they had to remake all these. So they had to make brand new cosmetics for old cosmetics in 2023, 2024, right? It's conceivable that Epic is going to have some brand new mode in the future that's going to once again require them to go back to every single skin and edit them.
Okay.
At what point does Epic go, you know what, guys? We never promised you'd be able to use all your skins in
That
every
is a
mode.
decent point
Old Battle
too.
Pass stuff. There's no reason for us to spend money on editing these skins for the future. They're just going to have to be Battle Royale only.
That is a
They're not
really
promoted
good
as an
point,
experience.
actually.
Sorry, but we never promised you they would. What would you say to that? Would you say, well, I think that item shop stuff will forever be,
Oh my god, I
usable
love
in
that
whatever
point.
experience, but Battle Pass stuff, It can die in your
wait, hold on,
locker
wait,
if that's what
so
you
wait,
want.
So wait, hang on a second. So because these items, you're arguing that these items may not ever be usable in future metaverse-based modes, that means Epic Games should go back on the word, lie to their community, and profit off of the lie, right?
I need to interrupt for a second. Everybody's jumping. I think they're trying to get our attention for something.
Yeah.
Okay.
Traditionally, the match would be over. The debate would be over because the time ran out. But we're still
But
going.
yeah, we didn't start.
Oh,
We
yeah, the
didn't
timer
start. It
ran
was a different timer.
I think everyone
Also-
should
Hey,
just
that was
like.
fun. I appreciate
jumps.
it, man. Thank you.
Oh,
Yeah,
hang
man.
on. Wait, are we?
You think you can
finished with
keep
that one?
going?
Yeah, because the
Well,
timer
if
already
we
started.
wanna keep going,
I haven't hit my
You're welcome
button.
to.
I mean,
Yeah. Also, for those of you who are spinning and jumping, the audio's coming through. So if you could please stop doing that. Also, a couple of you are still running around. Stu, can you just shoot anybody who runs?
I can, yes.
Okay. All right. So that's your last warning, guys.
you just sit down, please.
Okay. Am I continuing with Struckman or?
Well,
yes.
well, how do you want to
I
do
give
it,
up my
Clark?
seat, I don't care.
Because like there is a timer, and usually, traditionally, once the timer runs out, you move on to the next
Hey,
person.
you got to keep your word. You got to keep your word, right? I'll get off the chair, right?
Did we reset the timer? Did we reset the timer for Struckman when he came on?
No, he came in at a different time. I don't recall what it exactly
Well,
was.
usually
Let me
there's-
give him let me give him maximum another 7 minutes. I think he came in probably roughly around the. Actually, wait, no. If the timer started from when lunch was on, it was probably like more like 3 minutes in. It's a 15-minute timer.
Mhm.
Give him like another 10 minutes. Meet in the
Sounds
middle.
good to me.
10 minutes. All right, okay.
Go ahead.
All right, well, let's pick up where we left off here. We're talking about the
I
Epic lie,
love
right?
that
And I
point,
agree once
though.
again that Epic has created a problem. I've got an analogy for you, right? Since you obviously had an analogy recently in a video where you equated your skins to being something you're in a relationship with or whatever.
Wait, hold on a second. Wait, real quick. Let's address that.
Yeah.
Is that what I did?
Sure. Yes, you said if I was
Wait,
to give
hold-
up
hold-
my
wait, hold on,
exclusives,
wait,
it's
wait,
like
hold-
giving up my wife or my girlfriend. Yeah, well,
That is
that's
not what
you
I
did.
said.
That-
Actually,
Okay.
what was actually, as a matter of fact, since you think you understand that argument, what was the
okay.
purpose of me? What was the purpose of me bringing that argument up?
Because you're trying to make an argument that, oh, well, this should be mine, and it's okay if
No.
that it's okay if it's just mine. It's okay, guys. Get over it.
I
hold on,
feel
with
like
all due
that is
respect,
the argument
You're
that
trying
Clark
to
was doing,
criticize
though.
something that you don't even know the initial purpose of. That's not the
You
reason why the
equated
argument.
your exclusives to
May-
being in a relationship
may-
as a
no,
way
I did
to
not.
draw the bridge. It's
May-
it's
may
called
I-
an
may I
analogy,
explain- may
so
I
people
ex-
can understand your point. Go ahead.
Yes, it is called an analogy, but you're missing the point. See, this is what everybody from your position that thinks that that's what I did does. What you do is you take two things that I said, and what you do is you miss the point of what I was trying to get at, and then you straw man it to make the
Well, then
argument easier to
explain
attack.
what
But
your
I'm not going to
point
let you do
is.
that here. Let me explain to you, since you don't even
Thank
know the
you.
reason why I brought it up. Let me break it down for you. The reason why I brought that argument up is because your side of the community has this issue with demoralizing and trying to tell people that they're horrible human beings because they want to gatekeep. Gatekeep is the Fortnite community's equivalent of using the word bigot. It's an easy way for you to shut down to the community so you don't have to have an intellectual conversation. But
Are you having a conversation with someone else right now?
I'm
Did
not.
someone else-
I am
did
not.
someone call you a
sir,
gatekeeper here?
Sir, I am not. Sir,
Who are you
no,
talking
wait.
to?
You're missing the bro. Listen to. Okay, I'm gonna do this one more time. I need you to pay attention because I'm explaining the reason why the marriage analogy was made. The purpose of the analogy was not to equate the significance of getting cheated on with getting your Fortnite cosmetics brought back. Anybody with a brain could hang on a second. Anybody with a brain could have saw that, but you intentionally misconstrued the point of the analogy. The point of the analogy was to explain that there are certain times when gatekeeping is a good thing. As a matter of fact, I would say in most circumstances, gatekeeping is a good thing.
See, I
gave the
disagree with that,
analogy
like,
of a
just
marriage.
bold face.
And I said, let's relate this to Fortnite skins. Epic Games should want to
Thanks for the
gatekeep
bits.
the integrity of a cosmetics because they made a promise to people. And if they break that promise, that would be a lie. They would lose the trust of their community. It has nothing to do with equating the value of Fortnite skins to
Wait,
being cheated.
that's not what he was saying.
It has nothing to do with equating the value of
Just talk
Fortnite
about
skins
that, go ahead.
to being cheated on. If you're being insanely disingenuous.
Okay, we've got to break in because we have had half the people who are still in the lobby have voted with their buttons to change out the debater. So,
Good stuff, man.
Yeah. See,
Wait,
man.
the number went up to 13? It didn't on
no,
my
it's
end.
just, a couple people have left, and that means the 13 number is no longer valuable.
I didn't notice
So
that.
right now, 11 is the number they have to get to.
Oh, okay.
So if we see 11, that means it's time to
Chat, when do I go in? Should I
Thanks
wait?
for coming. Keep this next one. My camera's still on. My dog is attacking me. I will be back. Keep going.
Go. Landon does stuff one. Okay.
Oh,
Let's bring Landon up.
I think I know this person.
All done.
I've seen the name, I think.
Hey there, Clark.
What's
How you
this?
doing?
What's up, bro? Welcome.
Nothing much. Nothing much.
I like that
Just
last
chilling here,
dude.
having a good day. So obviously, we're here to talk about Battle Pass exclusivity, and I had to leave for a little while when Blue Eye was talking, so I don't know if he brought this up, but I'm surprised no one's mentioned yet that back in Chapter 1, Season 3, Epic hosted the Boogie Down contest. I assume you remember what that was back in the day. So with the reward for the winner, they get 10,000 V-Bucks.
Justice?
Obviously, they get their emote in the game, but they would also get Sparkle Specialist and her glider, which were exclusive to the Season 2 Battle Pass, if you remember. Now, that's the first time that Epic went ahead and technically went back on their word. Now, granted, only one person got the skin, so it realistically wasn't that bad, and it was Season 3, so realistically maybe like a month or two after the skin was deemed exclusive.
That is an
But still,
interesting
Epic
point.
did technically back in the day already go back on their word about how Battle Passes were exclusive for
And
this amount of time.
that was during the first Battle Passes.
Of course, there was the second time as well in Season X, where if you were a founder for Save the World, if you did not have the Ride the Pony emote, you were immediately given it, right? Like, for example, I didn't play during Season 2 on this account. I actually lost my old account due to account merging, but that doesn't really matter. But even though I didn't play on it, if I could emote right now, I do Ride the Pony to show that I do have the emote because I was a founder for Save the World. And as well, people who were, already had the Ride the Pony emote weren't just left out in the dust. They were also given, extra emote. I forget what it's called, but I remember when I think I saw Wildcat play Season X and I saw he got that emote. So I know it does exist.
What's your point?
My point is that Epic in the past has already gone back on this whole Battle Pass items are exclusive. And this was back in Chapter 1 when they were super stone cold on the idea that these items will never come back. So there have already been exceptions to that rule. So I feel like a lot of people have forgotten about those, which again, I find it funny that no one's brought it up yet. And I think that would be a very important part to this discussion.
Why?
Because even back in the day,
Epic made a couple of mistakes.
Yeah,
So first of all,
it's an interesting point, but it has to be supplemental evidence to a point.
Talking about.
He's just bringing up supplemental evidence,
I have the Wikipedia
but
articles pulled up if you want me
point.
to send them in the Discord.
You can do that, but I'm not gonna go back to that right now because it's not important to my argument.
Yeah.
Let's say that what you're saying is 100% accurate, and they did go back on the word, whatever, yada yada, right? Why is that a precedent to allow for them to go back on the word in the future?
I hate to do this.
Why should also the other difference is too, they didn't, those other skins that they gave away, or that specifically within the context of Sparkle Specialist, they didn't sell it. You had to win a competition in order to get it. Granted, I understand what you're saying, that it's still technically going back on the word, which I need to look more into that myself and do research on that. But that aside, let's say that they did do something and went back on the word. They still didn't profit necessarily. They didn't profit. They make a profit off of that cosmetic. Also, there is a significant difference between making it open season on all previously sold battle passes and selling and giving one away to a person that wins a competition, or even one emote. That is not the same.
That's fair. I do agree that it's guaranteed not the same equal practice. Obviously, one item isn't the same to a whole battle pass. Obviously, it doesn't completely line up. But also, just to jump into my next point here.
Yeah,
supplemental
evidence, Lunch. Just no point.
That's obviously
This guy has some good points,
a
but
whole
at the same
scenario that
time
they
not.
want to stop, right? So I feel like if Epic were to bring back these old passes, then that whole situation of, people are just buying these old accounts and either getting scammed, or even if Epic just doesn't like the idea of that, that would solve their issue, right?
Why don't we encourage Epic to figure out a different way to solve the issue than lying and profiting off of a lie?
I think the problem is that whole account buying process is a lot harder to fix, right? Because if you think about it, it's not like there's just one person doing it. There's hundreds, thousands of people. I bet I could go on eBay right now and find thousands.
Also, this isn't that releasing cosmetics isn't necessarily get
It would
rid of
curb
the issue
that.
of account buying.
It would curb it.
There are still people that are going to want accounts because there are going to be certain collections of accounts or certain collections of skins that exist. So account buying would still have utility. Because let's say you missed out on an OG Battle Pass cosmetic that only came to the item shop one time, right? Or you realize that
can come
buying
back.
an account would still be cheaper than you having to buy each individual skin or each individual Battle Pass. That does not solve the issue of account buying.
It curbs it though, objectively.
That's very fair. Real quick. Sorry, I just gotta real quick collect my thoughts here. See,
When we need one more. Oh, that's 11.
We've hit half. So let's watch.
yeah. All right. Well, hey, thank you so much for having me on, Clark, and
Hey,
as well
bro.
to everybody else.
Glad to have you.
Yeah, thank you. Also, actually, really quickly before I go, can I just say one thing? Clen, I watched your most recent video. You know, I was one of the comments featured in it. I remember you said something along the lines of morals and beliefs aren't opinionated. I actually right now I'm studying to become a teacher, and I'm learning all about values, beliefs, and things like that. I just wanted to, just let you know that they are more based around like how you're raised, what you're around. Like for example, in like a
No, wait, hang on, stop. Wait, hang on, real quick. We're not gonna have the objective morality argument right now.
No,
With all due respect.
I'm not talking about that. I just wanted to mention it.
That's what you're bringing, bro. With all due, we got to keep it going, bro. I'm sorry. We
Oh no,
can't.
I know.
I'd love to
I
talk
was
to you about it
just
another time, Landon.
Oh yeah, of course. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and hop off here.
All right, thank you,
Thanks
bro.
for coming. So, real quick, Stu, are we stopping it at 10?
11.
We should stop it at 10 because
Okay.
I
Keep that in mind.
We'll do it at 10 now.
Sounds good.
I bet.
Let's bring Struckman back on.
No. I mean, his was good.
Beautiful.
Muffin's lucky he didn't get shot.
I'll go next.
Yeah.
I'll try to go next.
Is Struckman back up?
It says he's muted.
He needs to unmute.
Okay.
Shut my.
Sorry about that.
There he
Okay.
is.
Go
Hey.
ahead, bro. Let's continue. You've given me the most interesting conversation so far. Let's continue.
No,
on
I do like
with
him,
where-
but I
with,
just
where
wanted
we
to go
left off.
next.
Okay, I have an analogy. Okay, since we love analogies, I do have an analogy for you. And then, well, okay, how about this? Let's go back to your relationship argument, and I will make a steelman for you. How about that? I want to prove that I can understand your points, and I'll make an analogy.
Let's
You
go.
steelman that. We'll go from there.
Okay.
I understand the concept that you're trying to make when you say exclusives are like relationships where you do not
That's
want
not
them
what I'm trying to say.
Okay, sorry. Let me rephrase. Well, you were actually specifically saying gatekeeping, right? That's the word you
we're
want to
making
use.
it. We're making an argue. No, the whole purpose of the analogy was to specifically
On
talk
eBay,
about
alias.
gatekeeping, not
Okay,
necessarily
sure.
to make an argument for. I mean, like it did relate to an argument about why Epic should hold their word, but ultimately it was basically to try to destroy the gatekeeping
Argument.
buzzword or babble. So
Okay.
go ahead.
I personally don't care for the gatekeeping argument. I don't care for.
And that's totally fine. Just so you know,
Sure.
I'm not saying that you personally care or call people
Yes.
gatekeepers, but I can't allow you to go up here and completely misconstrue the point of why that analogy was made, because clearly, with all due respect to you, and maybe I didn't explain it well, but you clearly didn't understand why the analogy was being made.
You just got to be careful about what you're equating, because it's very easy for someone to take that and go, okay, that's a little strange. It's a strange analogy. I wouldn't use. I've got a different analogy I would use that I think perfectly encapsulates every side of this issue, and it points out where the flaws are. Okay. So if Epic Games was a movie theater or a film distributor, and they got to deal with a movie theater, and they're new to the business of movies, okay? And let's say, for example, they got a film. What's your favorite film?
Let's just say Transformers 1.
Okay, the new one, right?
Yeah.
Nice. Okay, awesome. All right, so let's say they want to get a lot of people into the theater, right? So they say, hey guys, we're going to sell you a ticket to this movie over a 3-month period. And if you buy it, we'll give you exclusive right to see this film forever, and only you will get to watch it. All right? No one else will be allowed.
Yep.
You'd say, cool, sounds good. You're going to bring a lot of people into the theater, right? Okay, jump to 6 years later. The hype for the movie's insane. A lot of people want to see it. Epic goes, kind of want to show it to people. It is a good movie. A lot of people would agree, but we did kind of sell it to these guys over here exclusively. And you're saying, guys, come on, go watch another movie. This is my movie. They sold it to me that way. Right. So the issue is, if Epic wants to solve that problem that they caused, they'll make a ton of money. Because they know the ticket sales are going to be crazy. Because it was basically banned. You couldn't see it. So my point is,
explain why this is a terrible analogy.
No, sure.
Actually, I'm sorry. Let me let you finish your point. Go ahead.
Why is it a terrible analogy?
Well, if you're trying to do why don't you just watch another Transformers movie? I think you'd agree that a lot of people would say it's not confusing. Why? I'm saying they should have never sold it that way.
So real quick, this is okay. So real quick. All right. So you're using the FOMO argument, or you're appealing to what is it? What I wrote down here. Yeah, you're really using the FOMO argument that they should not have ever done this in the first place. That's fine, even if I did agree with that, which I don't. But let's say I agree with that. That's still not a good reason for them to go back and lie and profit off of a lie. Fundamentally, number one. Number two, the issue with the analogy that you're creating here is it doesn't in any way really make sense to limit the to limit the consumption of a movie. Because a movie intrinsically is it's a completely different monster altogether than a digital cosmetic. There is a production company. There are actors. There are the movie theaters.
Yes, there's artists.
Benefit, not to
there's
mention,
concept creators.
Overall, it would be
it's a decent comparison
because everybody would lose money. You wouldn't you wouldn't market.
You're right. It would be a bad decision. I agree. Yes, it would be a bad decision. And they should no movie theater, you would never want this kind of exclusivity in any other, but you wouldn't want soda companies to do it. You wouldn't want movies to do it. You wouldn't want fast food companies to do it.
That's not true.
The idea that you're selling exclusivity forever. Okay, cool. Yeah.
So that is not true. There is nothing intrinsically wrong with providing exclusives. The problem with your analogy is the type of exclusive that you're trying to create. There is so much behind the production of a movie that everybody, including the person that's trying to make it exclusive, would suffer. There are no good benefits as a result of offering that kind of exclusive. However, with other physical items or other digital items, there is value in offering those exclusives. If you want to maintain the integrity of an item, the best thing to do is to make it limited to some kind of degrue.
Why is there no value?
Gives that item value.
You should.
But
the second you buy them, they're worth nothing.
Paragon, thank you for the 1,000 bits.
X1000.
So wait, hang on a
Wait,
second.
There's no monetary value to these skins whatsoever. You buy them.
Permanent black hole.
So these Fortnite skins have no value. But you
no
also
inherent value after you buy them.
Hang on.
Yes.
So the Fortnite skins have no value, but you believe that Epic Games should bring them back to turn a profit, right?
I didn't say they should bring them back to turn a profit. You're the person arguing that your solution to this problem is, well, why don't you guys just buy a reskin, which you already know is more expensive than a battle pass? So you're saying, actually, go spend more money to get a reskin, which you might not even like. I'm saying the battle pass includes gameplay.
Like?
That's not.
I don't know. This is your solution. What are you talking about? Exactly. You're saying, oh, just get a reskin. Just get a reskin, guys. Just shut it up.
Go ahead.
Half of the audience has voted to swap.
Can I override the audience?
I thought we were going to 10.
If you well, one more person left, so now the audience is only 18
oh,
people.
I'm sorry. So,
yeah.
I was
Let
watching
the other
it
people
like a hawk.
Okay.
I want to continue.
Keep going. I'm begging.
Keep going. You're welcome.
This is the only interesting one I've had so far.
Ooh.
Keep
I'm
going.
interested as well.
Oh, keep going. Well, okay. What are we talking about now? Okay, we're talking about skins have no inherent value once you buy them. Obviously, monetarily, you can't resell your account. So the only value is that you hold as the person. So when you say, okay, I asked you earlier, what do you mean? What does
Definitely
it matter?
matters.
Why does that matter? Hang on. So at the core of the issue, so because the skin doesn't have any monetary value for me personally, but hold on, wait. This is
so you don't think? Okay, right, good.
Wait, hold on. This is the issue with your argument. The skins might not technically have a monetary value for me personally, but that doesn't matter. The skins have cultural significance and cultural value.
Exactly. There you go.
Value.
You got it. You made my argument for me. Thank you. Yes, they have cultural significance. It's not crazy to believe that people are going to care about this stuff. And if you think it's cringe or whatever to care about Fortnite skins, well, then the game doesn't exist anymore. This entire game is built on a cosmetic foundation.
Wait, are you agreeing with my point? Are you agreeing with me? This is my argument. Yes, this is my argument.
Are you sure?
Yes, yes. Part of my argument is that these skins have cultural significance, and that bringing them back to the masses destroys that culture.
Is perfect. Oh no, it's great.
It destroys the culture. Let me ask you a
What
question.
culture? Wait. What culture are you defending?
Let me
Chapter
finish.
1 is gone, man.
Let me finish. Exactly.
Did we just
and the
become
skins
best
are a
friends?
representation of that culture. You can't get the culture back, and giving people the skins
Why
will
not?
not give them that culture back.
I think
Let
it will.
me give you an example. Do you honestly think that giving people loot stations golden peely at mass will make the value of the skin better? Or is the
no,
or is the reason?
because
Or
we're
is the
talking
reason
about
why,
battle
or is
passes.
the-
We're not talking
or
about
is the
things arriving in the item shop randomly.
Golden peely is
That's what
a
I'm talking
battle
about.
pass skin.
Yes, that's my point. I'm saying battle passes are more than just buying a skin in the shop. You buy a pass that brings with it gameplay that lets you unlock rewards. It's actually more rewarding to buy a battle pass than to buy something in the item shop.
True.
Because there's memories attached to it, right?
Yes.
I love the battle pass system. That's what I'm saying. That's why I think that people should be allowed to buy them. And I don't care, after 3 years, I got my money's worth. Go ahead.
Hold on.
Enjoy the same game I like. Yeah, go ahead.
Wait, hold on a second. But hang on a second. People can still enjoy the game without receiving old cosmetics. You don't have to receive those old cosmetics and have Epic Games lie in order for them to be able to enjoy the game. This is not a good reason. Wait, hold on. This is not a good reason why Epic Games should go back on their word. If you're at the core of your argument, you're saying that, well, you're not talking about from an item shop perspective. You're talking about a battle pass perspective of giving people the ability to be able to regrind the battle pass, correct?
Yes.
Okay, I disagree because these items were marketed as exclusives, even to the people that weren't able to complete the passes.
And artificial timers are anti-consumer. If you want to defend anti-consumer practices because it's a lie,
I am so happy you brought up the anti-consumer argument because
most
people don't understand what anti-consumer means. Anti-consumer doesn't mean that items are offered for an infinite amount of time. Consumerism.
Then why do other games do it?
Hold on, hang on, wait, hold on. Do not throw us off on a red herring. Let's address what you just brought up because, with all due respect, you're wrong. Consumerism doesn't mean that the company offers the same product forever. Consumerism just means that it gives people a limitless supply of products, an endless supply of products. But it doesn't mean that the same products have to be offered, and it doesn't mean that those products have to be offered infinitely. That's where it falls short. So intrinsically,
artificial timers. If I buy a battle pass tomorrow and I don't play the game because I don't have time or whatever, 3 months pass, I've unlocked
all right,
nothing.
Guys, we hit the votes. Sorry to cut you off there.
That's all good.
It was a very interesting discussion.
Good stuff, bro.
Yeah, man. Same.
All right, Clark, on your cue.
Go.
Oh, JoJo took a giant leap there and missed.
Queen Gia.
Oh, that's passion.
Run it up, Queen.
Run it up, Queen. Yes, Clark.
Passion, you have to raise your hand.
What's their Discord? Is it Last Night Passion, right?
Last Night Passion, that's it.
Yeah, I invited them to speak.
Does he have to accept on Discord? There we go.
Yeah, there you
All right, they're in. Hello? What's happening? Did my audio go out?
I see the mic moving. I don't hear anything.
No sound though.
Yeah, I don't have any sound over there either.
Are we live? Are we live?
There we
Hello,
go.
hello.
Yo.
All right, nice. What's going on?
What's up, man?
Welcome.
Not much. By the way, thank you
What's up,
guys for
Burger?
having me. Clen, good to see you again, my friend. And
You too.
All right. Clark, how you doing, bud?
Great, man. How you doing?
Pretty good.
Yeah, that other guy was
all right,
spitting.
Well, I don't really have like too much of an argument or anything. I'm more of just here to just debate a little bit on this. More like well, I'm not really. I gotta say, I'm not really opposed to the fact of cosmetics coming back, but at the same time, I do get the argument.
but like from for me as a as an upcoming content creator and everything, for at least for the content that I make, at least
I do
wouldn't
think
be
the theater
opposed
thing
of,
was a really good
Battle Pass
comparison,
items
and I
returning,
wish that talking
certain
point was talked more
ones,
about.
considering for stories that I'm trying to
But-
do and everything, and things I'm missing out on those. So like for me personally, I don't mind about that, but at the same time I get the argument, but I also am to the point where I'm like, it doesn't like necessarily matter to me, I guess, of the whole thing. But I get where you guys are coming from, because you guys played since the very early days of
So
Fortnite and
may I set the
everything,
record,
and I get
may I set
that.
the record
and-
straight on something real quick?
yeah,
'Cause
go for it.
This is another trap that people fall into. See, the issue isn't so everybody wants to make this issue about the cosmetics, but this is what I keep trying to point everybody back to and what people aren't understanding. It's not about the cosmetics per se. It's about
True,
the
Kumo.
lie. It's about a company advertising something. You offer something in a specific way. You make sales and you profit off of that thing. And then to go back 7 years later, because some people are throwing a tantrum on the internet for something that they say doesn't make a difference, yet they're crying about it, crying for it, demanding it back, right? That and to go back on your word and lie to your initial player base, your initial offering, is a bad idea. That is a bad thing to do. So, do you agree that that is a good or a bad thing for them to do that?
I'm a little bit 50-50 on it, because one, I could see from your argument perspective on why it's a bad idea, but at the same time,
I'm so glad they have
I also
emotes
think
turned off.
The thing is, like, Fortnite is a very growing game. So like you have all these brand new players and everything coming in, and like we've had brand new players coming in since like what I would say like chapter 3 or chapter 4, I think.
So why does the advent of new players mean that a company should lie?
The way I say that is like, well, the reason I say that is from like more of a
half the audience is.
I don't want to say, of course there's a lie, but I would say more of a business perspective.
It is a lie.
We got to cut it right there, guys.
Okay, perfect.
Passion,
all
thank
right.
you very, very
well,
much.
It's been a pleasure, guys. It's been a pleasure.
Thanks,
All
man.
right,
Appreciate it.
Take care, guys.
Go.
Well,
What were you gonna say, Stu?
Interject. I was gonna
Yeah.
say we've had a few people leave throughout the game. Would we potentially be willing to let some audience members who did not get codes earlier join us?
Let me in.
Yeah.
I think we should. I think it would be more beneficial to go through people. We have a bunch of people here that have not had the chance to speak yet,
That's
so we
actually
shouldn't
a
even
good
we shouldn't even consider that until they have time. It looks like Muffin and JoJo.
So,
JoJo got it.
what? Just one sec, JoJo. I'm so sorry. How many people do we have right now? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
16 people in the audience, I do believe. And that means if the number hits 8, we would
Okay.
swap.
Got it. Hi, JoJo. JoJo's muted.
Hello.
Hello,
Here we
JoJo.
go.
Okay, so
Hit me.
I have one main argument. However, I do want to. I thought your conversation with Shuckman was beautiful, and I think he agrees with me in a lot of points. And I have a lot of the same feeling toward things. I wanted to go back to something that he said. He made the comparison with the movie theater, right? I think, is it not fair to make comparisons to something along those lines? You can say it's not a fair comparison, and you can feel that it's not a fair comparison, but when he was saying it, I was like, this is exactly how I feel about the argument. I think how many people feel about the argument is it's like, it just feels like a benefit to have more people watch or use said thing. Where is that not a coherent comparison?
The issue is, in his analogy, everyone loses. Everyone loses money. The people that were promised something get lied to, right? And the people that initially produced the movie, they lose out. The actors lose out. And to offer that as an exclusive is an unreasonable ask at its inception.
So can you tell me why it like what makes it that different?
Because to create a movie, there are more moving parts.
There is
are more
still a
people
lot
that
of
are-
moving parts. There's 3D artists. There's original concept artists. There's still
But the
a
3D
lot of
artists-
moving
the
parts.
3D artists don't make any money off the skins after the cosmetics are put out.
So you're saying that if there was residuals, you would agree with the argument?
Not necessarily, no.
Why?
Also, because I think that there's a difference between a movie, which it is what a movie is conceptually. With what a movie is conceptually, it's designed to be viewed by as many people as possible. A Fortnite skin, an exclusive Fortnite skin, is not the same thing as an exclusive viewing of a movie.
But
Actually,
like, why?
You know what? Actually, you know what? Hold on.
Okay.
I will agree. Actually, let me say this. There are actually examples of exclusive movies, of exclusive cuts, and those do not get released to the public. Actually, matter of fact, you know what? I changed my percent. I agree. No, those should never be released. Absolutely not. If you promise something to be exclusive, if you have an exclusive screening to something, no, it should never be released. If that's how you advertise it.
Yeah, I guess I completely disagree, so we'll just move on to my other point if that's
okay.
Okay. So my other point is, I think, so you would say a lot of this argument kind of boils down to essentially, you know, it's morally wrong to go back on your word, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that's your stance, and I agree. I think integrity is a very important thing in a business and as a person. I think it is very important. However, my main point is, do you not think that a company can change their mind from time to time on things?
A company may be able to change their mind, but they shouldn't be able to profit off of a lie.
Okay, so in this case, what if they release the battle passes for free?
That would still be terrible.
Okay, they're not profiting off of a lie. They're changing their mind.
Hang on a second. They might not, now in this context, they might not profit off of a lie, but they still lied.
Okay,
now,
but can they not change their mind?
As a matter of fact, in some ways, that might even be worse.
Why?
Because now you've completely devalued it. Fuck it. Imagine they said every battle pass from Fortnite Chapter 1, Season 1 to Fortnite Chapter 5, Season 3 is free. Forever and always.
Okay, well, if we're going through the moral argument, you said it's bad for them to profit off of a lie. They're not profiting off of this. They're changing their mind. Can you not change your mind from time to time and still retain some integrity?
Because you change the context of the argument, I'm going to change the nature of my premise. They shouldn't lie. Does that clear it up for you? I don't think it makes it better because they didn't make a profit off of it.
Okay, so they shouldn't lie.
That also destroys the integrity of those cosmetics that they promised to people would be exclusive.
There are plenty of companies that will promise something and then go, oh, I don't think we align with this. Actually, as a company, we did some soul searching. We thought about it. Maybe we do not like the FOMO mindset. We don't like our consumer base
that's totally
overbuying things.
And guess what? For future products, you are more than welcome to change your stance on those things. But to retroactively change that after profiting off of the previous... See, here's the other issue, right? Even in the context of what you're talking about, they still in a way have profited off of a lie. They profited off of those people that they promised that those exclusives would be those exclusives would be exclusive to. That doesn't really solve the issue. Now you just cut off the future profit off of it. Sure, maybe until they eventually change their word on that too, right? But the issue is you still have released exclusives that you promised would be exclusive, number one. And number two, the people that actually paid for all those exclusives, you've just taken all their money for something that they could have gotten for free 7 years later. That's terrible.
Okay, so what if they refund people's old battle passes with V-Bucks? Like, at what point does changing your mind become allowed in your minds?
So that would still be a terrible thing. Because
One's
real
wrong
world
for
money
shit.
was used to
X
purchase those
1000.
items. You're not refunding me my real world money. You're refunding me digital currency in a game that I probably don't give a shit about anymore because you just gave everybody the cosmetics for free.
Okay, so it seems to you that changing your mind is like never okay.
It's not. Wow. Okay. No. It's not that changing your mind is never okay. Let me give you an example. What Epic Games did for future Battle Pass exclusivity is a sign of them changing their mind. What Epic Games is doing with what Epic Games is doing with not having as many exclusive cosmetics is an example of them changing their mind. But changing your mind should not coincide with profiting off of a lie.
Okay, so let's try to make some sort of comparison because I think there is many times people do this in their normal lives that is totally acceptable. Okay, so if it doesn't matter and I can't make any comparison to anything because it's not a direct one-for-one comparison, I don't think we're going to get far in any conversation here on this matter. So it's like, I think
you can I wasn't saying that to for you to not make the comparison, but I don't think that showing a comparison of how lying benefits somebody else in another area makes it justified for Epic Games to lie. But please feel free to make the comparison.
I think there's a core disagreement about lying and changing your mind. I think if I say, hey guys, you know, I'm a content creator, I want to make the best Fortnite content for you ever, I'm going to spend the next 2 years grinding Fortnite content, and then a year in, I changed my mind because I decided, ooh, like this is, you know, better for me as a person to do this thing instead. It aligns more with what I want to do. It aligns more with my beliefs. It aligns more with my morals. I can apologize and change my mind. Do you think that is wrong?
No, I mean, do you know why? You know why that's different than the Fortnite example?
Why?
Because there was no money that was spent up front for something. You didn't take people's
What
money.
if people don't? What if people sub to my Patreon?
Then they can unsub from your Patreon if they don't make the kind of content that you want, that they want.
But I still profited off of them for what they thought was going to happen.
No, it changed. So here's the issue with that analogy. So you changing the direction of where your content goes.
All right, we gotta cut it off there. We've reached the vote.
Hang on, no. Can we continue this one? Because this is very important.
Yeah.
You changing the direction of where your content is going is not an equivalent to Fortnite going back on the word after offering something exclusive to people and profiting off of that exclusive item. Here's the difference. The content that you made on the Patreon still exists. And at the time in which they were supporting you, they were getting their money's worth. They were getting the kind of content that they wanted from you, subscribing to you every month. Now, if you decide to change the direction of your channel, you never told them like, hey guys, I forever and always will be a Fortnite content creator, and I'm never going to change that. And look, here's the deal. Even if you did do that, that's still not the same thing as what Epic is doing, because that you saying that doesn't require any purchase. You're not benefiting.
But I'm talking to the people that did purchase. No one playing those seasons had to buy the Battle Pass.
Hold on a second. What?
I mean, you don't have to buy the Battle Pass. I'm saying to the people who sub to the Patreon to support me as a content creator are making a purchase.
But see, the other difference too is that that's a monthly subscription. And the moment you do something that I don't want you to do, I just unsub. Here's the thing.
Already spent your money.
But yes, and guess what? It was worth it at the time because we were a community.
So was the Battle Pass.
Hold on a second. We were a community. You were giving me things. You were giving me the thing that I was asking for every month consistently. That my previous purchase isn't affected because your future goals change. In the same way.
That's exactly what I'm saying though. I'm sorry to cut you off, but like it's the same thing at the beginning of when they were bringing the Battle Passes out. At the time, it did exactly what it was supposed to do, and now they're changing their mind. Like you made the argument I'm trying to make, so I'm just confused where the disconnect is.
Okay, hold on. The difference is that an Epic Games case, they are taking the integrity of what that thing was. The initial offering was that it was never coming back. They had a premise that was set. These items are never to return. To go back and say, plot twist, they actually are coming back. Thanks for your money, though, and then sell it to everybody else is false advertisement. It is deception. It is a lie. That is a problem. That is not the same thing as you having a change in the direction of your future content, because it doesn't affect the previous content that you made. But in the context of Epic Games, it does change the previous content here, because you went back on your word for intrinsically what that content was. It changes the nature of the content. That content is no longer exclusive, but you boosted sales by advertising it as exclusive. You're saying that the nature of the cosmetics don't change, but in actuality they do, because instead of them being exclusives like you promised, they are no longer exclusives.
Yeah, this is a point where I just don't really agree on the nature of the cosmetic changing. I know it goes from exclusive to non-exclusive, but you got what you got for at the time. I think changing your mind as a company is fine. You can still retain integrity if you apologize and go, you know what, we have decided that, you know, FOMO is not where we want to go for in the future, and we're gonna cut it off.
The votes have reached again.
All right.
Okay. Good stuff, JoJo.
Good talk.
That was good, JoJo. Thank you, sir.
Go. It's Dagwummy.
Chat thoughts.
Oh.
Thoughts? How'd I do?
He is. He was
Let's
ready.
go. All right, Dag, what you got?
All right. So I'm not like too beholden to like, I guess, one position, but I guess I want to challenge one of your points, which is you keep calling this like a lie, right? That's the word that you keep using.
Yes.
Right? The definition of a lie is the intent to deceive, right? In my opinion, it's not like Fortnite years ago was in a boardroom, like rubbing their hands together, like, all right, we're gonna release all these cosmetics and then we're gonna bring them back. That would be a lie. So I agree on they went back on their word, but I wouldn't exactly call it a lie. So I don't know. Do you agree with that
That's
or no?
an interesting point. I like it.
Because that's not the only way in which you can lie to somebody, right? I don't see how offering something as exclusive and then going back on that is not a lie.
But they weren't trying to deceive their players.
Wait, hold on. Is that not a deception? We advertise something one way, and then now we're just
but
gonna
at the
go
time,
around and change that.
They just changed their mind.
And,
They weren't trying to
do
deceive.
the complete opposite of what we just promised.
But yeah,
just because the lie happens at later on, you change your opinion doesn't make it any less of a lie, right? It's still a lie.
I guess I'm saying like originally, like I personally wouldn't call it a lie. I agree they went back on their word, but like it's not like their intent initially releasing those exclusive cosmetics was to deceive.
Yo, Dagwummy's low-key bouncing on it.
In reality, I agree more with JoJo's take, where it's like they've changed their mind. But we could.
Wait, hang on. Is that not deceptive? To profit off of something, right? You offer something one way, you profit off of that thing, and then you go back on your word. Yes, you're 100% right. You are going back on your word, but now that you've gotten everybody's money, well, we already.
Chat,
got
tell
the
me what
money
Dagwummy
anyway,
says. I'm
and
going to.
We can make a lot more off it, which is what my opposition is trying to tell Epic to do, right? We already got the money. We can make a lot more if we re-release these cosmetics. Fuck it, let's just bring them back. Yeah, that's a lie. You offered something, you went back on that. Going back on your word intrinsically implies lying.
I don't know if I agree with that, but I guess we can disagree there. I guess the other point I could bring up would be like, yeah, so you keep going back, I guess, to this like morals argument, right? Like, and I guess for me, that doesn't see the full picture. Like, in my opinion, so, you know, Fortnite is an evolving game. It's $1 billion business. And most of the people who play now, like, they didn't even play Chapter 1, right?
Okay.
And so I guess the way I see it, like how JoJo mentioned, is like businesses, they go back on their word all the time, and that's okay if it's for the betterment of the final product, right? Or like the current audience. And I think Fortnite is within their right to go back on their word if they wanted to do so.
How did you come to the conclusion that is for the betterment of their audience moving forward?
I'm saying if they feel that
can...
way, I'm not saying it is, but I'm saying if they feel that way, they are within their right to bring them back.
Well, listen, again, this is not a conversation about what Epic Games is within their right to do. Sure, maybe legally they can find some loophole in which they can do it. I'm saying that it would still be a mistake. A mistake would be wrong.
I'm not saying they can or cannot. I'm saying that, I guess my point is like, if there comes a day where Fortnite is struggling and for some reason, like, I don't know, they're about to go bankrupt, like, I think they are within their right to be like, all right, we need to, you know, bring back these OG battle passes.
Yo, get Muffin out my screen, bro.
So, okay, say that one more time. I spaced out for a second. Epic Games is well within their right to bring back OG battle passes because
if they need to do so. So if the situation calls for it,
fuck to you.
Why is this a need?
We don't know that, you know, there might come a time where Fortnite is like, all right, we need to bring back these battle passes for the sake of the betterment of the game, whether that means, you know, pleasing the current audience. If the game is about to die,
we know that that's not a need. Neither side of this argument needs the cosmetics. This isn't about a need.
Well, I guess it's not a need either. Yeah. I guess
Yo, this angle looks like he's actually bouncing on it. Oh no.
It doesn't really get left or wrong because we're going over the
Is that me?
terms, right? whether it's a lie or whether it's them going back on the word, still an issue because you profited initially off of selling something a particular way. Then you go like any other company that did this would be in the hot water. Imagine you crowdfunding.
Politicians do it all the time, right? They get voted into office and then they run on a certain idea.
Hang on, what do we say about those politicians, Dag?
Well, I'm not gonna get into that about current.
Well, hold on, but hang on.
Oh God, what do I do, chat?
People that you can't trust and people that go back on the word. What do we? So why is that more important than why is money more important than your moral character?
We hit the count, guys.
All right.
Okay, perfect.
All right.
Thanks,
GG's,
Dag.
Clark.
Leaving and rejoining helped. Let's go.
Yep.
On your mark, Clark.
Go.
Oh, Muffin got it.
Who we got?
Muff.
Let's let Muffin go.
Yeah, this motherfucker gonna be crazy. I have a feeling.
It's the sad walk.
Yeah.
Dude, while we're paused, can I just say it took all of my might to not laugh when you shot the guy on the table in like a nice heated debate. Like it was just the perfect timing for it.
I'm not sure who that was. I guess he just loaded in really late, and then he didn't know what to do, so he just ran in the middle. Had to kill him twice.
Hello?
Muffin?
Oven?
Hey.
What's up, bro?
So I want to start this off. What makes you think that Fortnite can't hold a lie? Like,
What?
I'm not saying
I've
that
been
they can't, I'm just
noticing
saying that they shouldn't.
they shouldn't, but they can. And you've been showing yourself that like Fortnite can't do that. It's unacceptable, but they can.
No one's
In your video, you brought that up.
No one's arguing that they can't do it. I'm just saying that they shouldn't do it. As a matter of fact, at the start of the video, I said that they probably would bring.
Why
back
is
the Battle
Dag
Pass
still
cosmetics. You're arguing a
bouncing
ghost
on
thing.
it?
That's not even my point. There's nothing to do with what we're talking about here.
All right, you want to say something?
No, I said what I had to say. Go ahead.
Oh, also, how when Fortnite does bring back old battle passes, how would that affect you? Because it seems like only so little people care that it's gonna affect them.
Let's say that only one person on the planet right now cares.
Okay.
And let's say that that person's me, right? And let's say that shit. Even I don't care fundamentally, right? Let's say that I just don't give a shit if I could bring it back, right? Why does that matter? Why is the integrity of something not more important than the profits of said thing? That's what I'm getting at here. That's at the core of what I'm saying, right?
Yeah.
Yo,
the
Muffin
other
just turned
issue,
around
too,
and just started
is-
twerking it.
We can agree that there used to be a time where most of the player base was cool with Battle Pass exclusivity and we were having fun with it, right?
Yes.
Okay. And now people are
Come
quote
on,
unquote not
Muffin,
having
for
fun with
YouTube
old
chat.
Battle Pass exclusivity, correct?
Yeah.
Okay. What's to say that that people's opinions won't change 7 years from now?
It will change.
So right, which would change back to my position, correct? People
Yeah.
would care about it again. So the issue is once you've opened this door, how can you reasonably sell exclusives after you've already gone back on your word? How can you have people trust you to maintain the integrity of any exclusives that they buy after 14 years ago at this point? That integrity has been lost. It's what I'm getting at is that the Fortnite community's perspective on this is very short-sighted.
Yeah. Well, also the fact is, Donald Mustard also.
Yo, Chad, is it
probably
just
made
me or
those
does Kid
rules
Allure
when
look like
having
he
a
got
new
titties?
person that runs Epic. Some things are gonna change. It's different people running it. So rules like that don't matter anymore for people like.
Why does integrity not matter?
Some matters for some people, some it doesn't.
Integrity matters to everybody, including the people that are fighting against it right now. You just want them to go back on
Muffin,
integrity
just
because it benefits you in the
twerk!
short term, not because it's actually a good thing for them to do.
All right, we have been hitting over 8 now.
Oh,
that little pause put the end of it.
All right.
Cool.
It was nice
Muffin.
meeting you.
Thank you very much,
Muffin.
Muffin.
Have a good one.
Go.
Who's in?
Fatebound.
Fatebound gamer.
Fatebound finally got in. Let's go. Bring Fatebound up.
Ooh, I'm ready.
Yo, Muffin did not clutch up, chat.
Before we get started, the count has now gone down to 7 people.
Yeah.
Okay.
So watch for 7.
Sounds good. Fatebound. Does it need to be brought up?
Why'd your sneeze sound like Hawktua, bruh?
I think that's a yes.
I think this might be a good argument.
Where's Fatebound at?
Is Fatebound, are you in the Discord, bro? Where you at?
Yeah, he says yes. He's nodding up and down.
Has to
Fatebound,
be.
if you're in the audience, you should raise. Are they able to raise their hands?
Yeah, Fatebound, raise your hand if you're in the audience in the Discord.
I got in chat over here that he is in game chat, but you need to be in Clark's Discord.
Yeah, if you're not in the Discord, you can't do it.
GG's.
If you're not in the Discord,
feedback says people can't raise their hand. It might be disabled.
is it disabled?
What is raising your hand?
Yeah, apparently
Oh,
raising hand is disabled.
Clark
Lunch, you
strawman
do
him saying he was
enable
trying to talk about illegally and he wasn't.
I don't have perms to do that.
Dak
people?
said
Okay,
Fortnite is
okay.
evolving game.
Maybe
Companies
actually I
always
think I
go
did too
back on
much
their
disable.
word, and he
That
said
shit
if
is on me.
Epic thinks it's beneficial to bring back gold passes, it's fine for them. But Clark strawman too.
Oh,
Interesting. Okay.
lunch.
Is Lunch even here? Lunch probably is even here.
Lunch
Fatebound,
might
what's
not
your
be here.
what's Fatebound's Discord name?
I'm unsure.
Um,
Fire, you know his
Fatebound-
Discord? Anyways, well, the pause is going well so far, I think.
let's have Fatebound sit out. We'll bring somebody else up.
Sounds good.
Go.
The slow man.
All right.
Dude, Crater. When is Crater gonna
Is
go?
the hand raising working?
Crater.
I see Slow Man in Discord.
Bring him up.
Muffin Man, stop twerking on it. Crater, can you please go up and argue?
I can't tell if somebody's raising their hand.
It'll make my day.
Hold on. Did you bring Stone Man up?
You talking to me?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know I had perms.
Well, one of the
Oh, wait,
mods just brings Sloan Man up. I see him right there.
Wait, where is he?
Yeah, I see him as well.
If Lunch isn't here, then
Trickster,
he's
come
not
up.
able to drag
I need
people up.
Trickster, come up here. Where's Tricky? Is Trickster not here either, bro? I need another.
There we
mod.
go. We got him.
Trickster made it up.
We got him.
Okay.
Yay,
Trick,
Trickster.
can you handle this?
Yeah, who do I need to drag up again?
Sloan Man.
Alright.
And Trickster, also enable hand raising.
There we
I see the hand
go.
raised now. We're good.
Hello.
There he, Sloan Man.
Hello.
What's up?
Okay, one moment. Let me get my notes pulled up on my other monitor here. Okay.
Let's go.
Here we go. So I have 3 points that I made. Most of these probably have already been said, but I went with it, so I'm doing it. So point 1, I gave a little example. So imagine you played Chapter 2 Season 2 and you really wanted to get the Sky skin. And then something happened in your life that caused you to not be able to get that skin anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Having the ability to repurchase those cosmetics for the price that would be appointed to that skin, that would allow those people that bought the Battle Pass for the reason of getting that specific skin to get that skin.
True. But you shouldn't have that opportunity. That's the appeal to unfortunate circumstances argument. Because something unfortunate happened in my life, I should be able to purchase said item. And I'm saying no. If you weren't able to get it within the window, you should not be able to purchase it.
Okay. Okay. Point 2 is basically probably what would happen if this did happen. Is number 1, this would be a gold mine. They have opened a chest and they have found a golden scar. This is basically an infinite money glitch. They would probably get a ton of money. Say they were
Skibbity Riz!
Renegade Raider. It's like a Pokemon mods re-release their first editions. That would be insane. But not only would it be insane, get them a lot of money, it would get a lot of attention on social media. The attention would be negative. It would be probably terrible attention, but it would be stirring up a storm of attention on social media, and that would probably get them a lot more money.
Is the amount of money that Epic Games can make from something more important or more valuable than the integrity of the company?
Well, yeah, because that is the thing, is that it is immoral. I would agree with you on that it is not a good idea to do it, but it also is a good idea to do it because it gets them money. But then it also splits the player base once again, and they would most likely lose a lot of players too.
How did you come to the conclusion that this is the best way for them to make money? I gave a solution earlier where we would
Muffin Man, no,
reskin the
you did not do
cosmetics,
good,
and you would
bruh.
have old and new players both purchasing them, so you get money on both ends rather than just one. Why? And you don't have to break your word.
I'm disappointed.
Why would we go with your idea rather than that one, which would make Epic more money objectively, because you're now doubling the amount of people that can buy something.
That's true, but say that somebody wanted. Say that somebody wanted.
All right, guys, we hit the vote count. Sorry to interrupt there, Sloan.
Okay.
It's all good, bro.
I like this kid though. W Sloan, man.
Good stuff. Good stuff.
Practice debate a little bit more, and I think
Guys,
you could be peak.
Absolutely nothing against Sloan. I just I didn't realize I should have said this earlier. Just make sure you're crouched on the chair, please. It's making the camera angle a little weird.
Who has not spoken yet? Aquash, Furious, Fire,
Crater.
and
Little Crater.
Little Crater.
And
Crater,
Sergeant.
please
And-
lock
Did
in
Molten
for the
speak this
JoJo community. You're like the only one who has you're the only one in the JoJo community, and you need to lock in.
Did Molten? Well, did Molten let Molten come back up? If Molten has got their Discord situation figured out, Molten, only come up if you get your Discord situation figured out. If not, just sit down.
Yay!
Oh, sorry.
Bro, Crater, please, dog.
I just realized you were turned the other way.
Yeah, I was looking at the wrong person. Fuck it. I'm getting tired. We'll let
Hello.
Molten speak. What's up, Molten?
Yay!
Nothing much. But
Alright, bro, what you got?
honestly, my one point is that people, in my opinion, only have one skin in the battle pass that they really like. So why buy the whole entire battle pass when you can just buy one skin?
Okay. So why does that? Why is that a reason for Epic Games to go back on their word? Because people can only buy shit if they can get their skin that they want. What?
You.
Hello?
Sorry.
What is that? So what is this? How does this fit the broader narrative of what we're debating here?
It's not sorry.
No.
Did you want to respond to that or?
No. I'll go back.
Okay, bro. No problem.
No.
Thanks, Molten.
No.
Sorry, what I meant earlier, my brain's not working. Fate Bound. Fate Bound was I was looking at the Molten skin and thinking what was his name.
Oh.
Fate Bound. If Fate Bound's figured out their Discord situation, let Fate Bound come up.
Bro.
Do we see him raising his hand?
Fate Bound coming? I do not see.
What's his Discord?
Oh, is it Saber 0? Because Saber's raising. Oh, there's more people raising their hand. Never mind.
Yeah, that guy's been
yeah,
doing
I
it the
don't
whole
know.
time.
I don't see Fate Bound in as a username. Must be something else.
Maybe they didn't get their thing fixed though.
All right, Fate Bound. We're gonna put you back in the seat then.
Okay. Yeah, Fate Bound, sit back down. I'm just gonna start picking people at this point.
Sounds
Pick
good.
Crater, please pick Crater.
Yeah, I was about to say Little Crater.
Yes.
There's Little Crater
All
wants to
right.
come up.
All right, and I got it's Fate
Yo,
Saber
yo,
in Discord.
Yo,
for next
Crater, if you pussy out, I'm banning you from my chat. I'm not even gonna lie. You're getting banned if you do not go up right now. I am not joking. I will ban you within the minute. Go up right now and debate.
We're
I invited him.
All right, Crater.
Hello.
Yay! Crater, before we start, could you crouch? Thank you.
Hello, Clark. First time speaking to
Hello.
you.
Let's bring
So I just want to say first off, I watched the video that you made, and I did agree with some of the points. Some of the points were pretty good, but I wanted, like the kid back there, I wanted to give some of my points. Like, so I think I have like one or two. Some of the points were already said by some other people, but yeah.
Let's go, Crater!
So, I think I can't hear Clark, if I'm gonna be honest.
I haven't said
Right.
anything. Keep going.
Oh, I'm sorry. But so first point. So let's just say this is like when like OG Fortnite has released. And they said, you know what, we're gonna bring back the battle passes for like 1 month for the 1 month thing, like for season 1, season 2, season 3, etc. But what did they say? What if we're gonna give people that have the skins, like OG, like a little secret style or a special style, like with Gold Trooper or Skull Trooper, where they gave them like some special styles. For example,
Once
I
again,
had.
So
Oh yeah,
I'm so
you can
sorry.
go.
I'm so sorry. Once again, this was brought up earlier. My solution would be, instead of giving us the special style, give it to the other people. Make the skin really cool for the new players. That way, I get it. Me as an OG player, I will want to buy it again. And 2, you get a different version of my skin that's even cooler than the one I originally got. I think that'd
Yeah,
be better.
true. Or maybe like give them like an option to like get like a new skin for like the old one. Like I feel like getting some sort of like special style or skin makes it feel like that you are
Yo,
good.
chat,
and
Willis
as
actually
well
has a
as the
goated point.
old
Hold
player,
up.
Oh, new player, I'm gonna say. So I mean, OG and the new players will be both happy. And
I get what you're saying. I just don't think that that's a good enough reason to fall back on your word.
yeah, and I don't remember what the second opinion was, but
One's
so
I hate
that's all.
OG.
That's all I had. Most of it was already said, but after like listening through like the debates, I'm starting to agree with your little opinion a little bit more.
Get him out. Get him out. Get this guy out. Close the debate. Get him out. Crater, go sit.
W Crater. Thank you, bro.
Jojo, how do you feel about bullying someone and sitting down?
I'm banning you. Okay, wait.
One
of my
Can we get Furious up here?
Yeah, can I say one thing real quick though?
Yeah.
Yeah.
My other person from my community that was gonna join is here now. So if he could talk at some point before we close it, that'd be cool. He has like a few good points, I think.
Just Stu, can he join mid
He's already in. He's already in.
Oh, sorry. Oh, is it Willis?
Yeah.
Oh, yay.
Yeah, he was gonna join before, but
I didn't notice a shark skin. That's a great skin.
All right, thank you.
Furious.
Yeah, this motherfucker Crater said.
He's not up yet. Hold on.
He's up here.
Hello.
There he is.
Hello.
All right,
Let's go, Furious. Come on, lock in.
In the audience to speak by the end of this, because we have like Tom in our chat is concerned he's not going to be able to. But
you got it.
We're going to try and
And
get everybody.
is it still at 7 for the vote?
Yes, I believe it is.
Perfect.
So let me say this. We will do a rapid
I
fire
should
for the
ban
people that
Crater.
haven't spoke, and then I would like to finish things off with Struckman and JoJo.
Perfect.
All right.
All right.
Go ahead,
So, first things first, I want to say that I'm one of the people that had to change their minds overnight, but I do have a strong argument here. Let's first talk about collab skins. Darth Vader is a really good example. Do you think that it should still be exclusive?
Yes. Because no matter how, see, this is the thing that people don't understand. No matter how bad you want something, doesn't mean that a company should lie and profit off of a lie in order to give other people that thing.
Okay, I
So yes,
understand that.
it should remain exclusive. Yes.
But you know, a lot of the skins, like let's say Peely, that's part of Fortnite's franchise, or like part of Fortnite's identity. And you may say like, yeah, they shouldn't bring that back. And while you might be right about that, Darth Vader isn't a part of Fortnite's identity exactly. What purpose does locking a collab skin away forever serve?
By maintaining the integrity of the thing that you offer to people at that time. That's the purpose that it serves. Now,
But it's
what I will say is I think it would be beneficial for Fortnite to make a new version of that skin, which I could definitely see them doing, which would be maybe even more accurate or more faithful to the franchise, and releasing that and giving people something that they can purchase in the item shop. But that version of the skin should not come back. No.
Okay, well, think about the people at the time that had to play the game to get the skin, all right? Let's say you had to play the game to unlock Darth Vader. The fear of missing out of getting Darth Vader at that current time forced people to play the game at a current state that they might not like. And while you might say, well, then it's not your fault if you didn't play the game during the time, nowadays there are more ways than ever to earn XP, and there are so many more modes for people to play, and it's way more fair now that if they bring some kind of Battle Pass skin out that is going to be exclusive, there's so many more ways to unlock it. Now, another thing that I wanted to say is, I guess, yeah, since Darth Vader is a skin that hasn't gotten another style that has, like, come back, why would you, I don't know how to say this exactly, but why wouldn't you re-release a skin that a lot of people, I mean, yes, you want to keep the integrity of the game, but why would you not release a skin that isn't a part of your identity? I mean, I need to know that.
I don't see, the problem is you think that the skin has to be a part of the game's core identity in order for it to be gate kept. But I'm not arguing that. I'm saying that when you make a commitment to people and you profit off of people in a specific way, it is wrong to change your mind, as JoJo wants to say, or it's wrong to go back on your word, as Dag would like to say. Or in my opinion, it flatly ends up becoming a lie. No, it doesn't matter if the lie happens after the fact, right? Or happens later on. It's still a lie. But the point is, it doesn't matter if this cosmetic is part of the game's core identity or not. So and to be fair, honestly, you can make a case that in some ways it is, but that aside, to say that it's not, that's not a good reason for someone to go back and release the old cosmetics. I will say this, and this is where I empathize with people. I think it does suck, and I remember even saying this before I was a content creator back in Chapter 2, Season 2, that it does suck like Deadpool is locked behind a battle pass. I'm not gonna, like, I want people to understand, like, I am empathetic. I do think that it is unfortunate that some items are not going to come back, but I don't think that it's worth Epic going back on their word for you to get them. It doesn't matter how bad you want something. That's not an excuse for somebody to go back on their word.
So don't you think it's morally wrong to bring those skins back? Yes, you said. Don't you think it's also just as morally wrong to force people to play a game at a current point that they might not want to, just to unlock a skin that they know will never come back? Isn't it just as morally wrong to force people to do something like that?
But even if it is, that has nothing to do with whether or not they should bring a cosmetic back or not.
No. Oh.
Okay, let's talk about OG
the fear
styles
of
for the
missing
skins. I know
out.
you
There's
said to bring
actually
back
a
another
moral.
style and give those
There's
to the new
actually
players
a
so that you
moral
make profit from
argument
both the
here for
original
why
players and the new
FOMO
players.
is a bad
But
thing.
now I need to
by
know,
the way.
why would it kick the can down the road if you gave original players a style for the skin? Why do you think that would happen?
Why does it kick the can down the road if you give original players a style for the skin? Because 7 years from now, when nobody is using that version of the skin, right, for all the new people that bought it,
Paragon, don't say shit like
that
that.
Cosmetic was and what it meant culturally.
I know
to the
you're
game,
joking,
what you're gonna have is a
but
new
don't say
generation of
shit
players
like
that are
that.
gonna see oh man, that sure is a cool version of Darth Vader. Oh man, that sure is a cool version of Superman. Yeah, well, you can't ever get it. Like, you can get that Superman skin, but you can't get that style of it.
I mean, respectfully, who cares? You get the original style
that's
is
my
what
argument.
people. No, the original style is what people care about the most, right?
For now, but as this whole conversation proves, people's opinions and perceptions of the game change over time. There is nothing to say that people's opinions and perceptions of the game won't change later on for those exclusive styles.
So
and and listen, now that you've already opened the door to destroying cosmetic exclusivity, you have no good reason to stand on the principle of why people should be able to hold on to those. You've already done it once, do it again. Do it for me. That will be the argument, and those people would be fair in arguing that.
I don't think so. I mean, why is Renegade Raider so popular? It's because it's rare. I mean, let's be real. Most people probably wouldn't like the skin if it was a normal item shop skin. But the reason that it's so sought after is because it's so rare, and that's the original style that people care about the most. And why do people use Renegade Raider? Because it's rare. When you go into a squads game and you see a Renegade Raider, you're gonna be like, "Oh my god, a Renegade Raider!"
Yes.
So
And what you're advocating for is the destruction of that rarity.
No, it's not. Because if you're getting let's say you get a special style for Renegade Raider that has like gold plating on the helmet or something like that, then you can still differentiate between an OG player and not, and the people who cared about the identity of the original skin get to use it.
That's not the issue that we're talking about here, though. What you're trying to argue is the integrity of what you're trying to argue here is the integrity of people not wanting that exclusive style later on. It's already happened with the Paradigm skin. Some people are already saying that it's not fair that they can't get that version of the Paradigm that all the OGs got, right? Same thing with the Purple Skull Trooper. You see examples of that. This has already happened with previous cosmetics. There is no reason to say that it won't happen again later.
Okay. Why did they re-release Purple Skull Trooper? Was it stated that that was an original skin? Let's talk about that. Or not Purple Skull Trooper, but the original.
I'll be
Skull
honest, the Purple Skull Trooper was always a weird one to me because that one was never promised to be exclusive, but Epic decided that they wanted to do something special for the OGs that had it. That one is a different issue altogether, but my point is this: regardless of why the OGs got the exclusive style, the point is that people still want it. Same thing with the Paradigm exclusive style. There's nothing, if people want exclusive styles for OG skins now, it's fair it stands to reason that they'll probably want it 7 years from now when those players that bought the new cosmetics that return to the shop aren't even playing the game as much, which is the argument we're getting right now.
Well, then the entire thing just becomes a catastrophe because any skin that were to come back, so for example, the Paradigm, that skin coming back and getting an additional style, literally any skin getting additional style, people will just want literally everything they can get. And I think that that's just weird. I mean, really,
are you agreeing with me?
I mean, okay, listen. Like I said, I had to change my mind overnight. But I think it's weird that people will want that exclusive style for a skin when it's the original skin that became popular. Like, who's gonna want the gold-plated version of Renegade Raider when everyone saw the normal Renegade Raider that runs around in lobbies and when everyone knows?
Now they're gonna want the more rare version of the skin, just how the skin intrinsically is rare now. They want that rare skin now. Because
but nobody cares about recolors. That's the thing.
That's not true. I just gave you 2 examples where they do, and you agreed with them.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, they do care about Purple Skull, but the point I'm trying to make is, especially this far down the line after a skin's been out for this, Purple Skull was only out for it was only out for 1 year. Right?
Furious, let me get to the heart of the issue here, okay? What you're talking about what's tragic. You know what I think is tragic? I think it's very tragic when a group of people that didn't even play Fortnite at that time come back and demand that Epic Games go back on their word or a contract that they had with a player base that did play and support the game at a specific time. You weren't even a part of this agreement, and you're mad that you don't have something that was promised to somebody else. That's odd. You haven't given a good reason as to why they should go back on that promise.
Okay. Well, okay. Well, I mean,
all right, we gotta stop you there. We reached the amount of votes.
Perfect. Who has not?
Furious had some good points.
Yeah, no problem.
Oh, it was JoJo's person we're gonna bring up next. Willis, bring Willis up.
Oh, let's go, Willis. Lock in.
Willis,
please.
Hello. Can you guys hear me?
Yep.
How's it going? So I was originally gonna be here, then not be here, and now I'm here because my class ended early. So,
well, I'm glad you're here. Welcome.
Thank you.
Come on,
so
Willis.
A big thing you're bringing up is I have kind of 2 separate points I'm gonna kind of bring together. So I'm gonna start with my first thing. So, Epic has brought back Battle Pass cosmetics, and it was for the 2018 Bookie Down competition, which started after Season 2 ended.
We talked
and
about
they brought
that,
back
but...
Sparkle Specialist and the Glider because it was in the set. But also, so them saying that those skins were exclusive to only the pass and they cannot get it anywhere else outside of that is wrong because they gave it to
there,
people. And granted, it was only a select small amount of people, but they still did it regardless. No, it was, I believe. Hold up. I have the link right here. Let me just.
Someone also brought up this argument before, and this is not a good reason for why they should go back on exclusivity.
It was up to 100. So okay, so. My point 1 debunked. All right, it's point 2. So a big thing that Epic went back on their word about was in 2020. I looked up the blog post personally. I'm actually gonna drop the blog post in the chat. They said that when they lowered the V-Bucks price 20%, in the title of the blog. Oh wait, I'm on perms. Fuck. So here I can JoJo. Can I DM this to you or do you have the fucking? I don't know. But what I'm trying to say is.
Yeah, I got it.
All right, thanks. It was stated in the blog post for when they dropped the V-Bucks price 20%. They said it was permanent. They said that they were not going back on it. 3 years later, I get it as inflation, but they went back on their word and they increased the price of the V-Bucks and the packs up 10%.
Wait, hold on. I'm sorry. Say that one more time. They increased the price of what now? Please start from the beginning. I apologize.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm kind of going fast here. So in 2020, when the whole Apple versus Epic thing was kind of getting a spearhead, they introduced, the 20% off V-Bucks,
Right.
So it went from $10 to $8.
Right.
So it was like that for a long time. And in the blog post that it stated in, it states it's permanent. So what I'm trying to say here is that a couple years later, they went back on that and they increased it. So it's example, 1,000 V-Bucks. It went from $8 to $9. So them saying this was a permanent change and then going back on it on such a wide scale, more than Boogie Down, where it was just 100 people who got the skin. On such a large scale, I think that kind of goes back. He's saying that Epic never goes back on their word. They went back on their word for that.
I never said Epic.
I thought you stated that. Well,
X50.
Well,
If you
but
can't
Epic's-
post it, send it
the
to me.
argument here shouldn't be that
go
they.
back on their word.
Yeah,
But
the
should
argument
they
here.
have gone back on their word?
There's a good
for
argument here. He's
this?
making the wrong argument.
Exactly.
Okay. But just because once again,
Santa, thank you for the
them
sub
going back on the
to
word
this
once
bitch.
before, and once again, I need to look at what was actually said there so I can understand it. But them going back on the word before is not a reason for them to go back on the word in the future. Well, hey, look, they lied to me over here. Well, fuck it. I guess they're gonna lie to me again. That's not a good argument for lying.
I'm just saying the
again.
track record's there. So the point, I guess, if we're getting into the lying shit, if we're getting into the morality shit, Epic's not a moral company. Let's get real here. They fired 860 people in that same month. I'm just saying, if we're
They
trying to
are
go
immoral, but let's not even, we don't need to get into that.
well,
That's
I get what
anymore.
you mean. I get what you mean, but Epic's not a perfect company, and they've done, and they've done shady shit before, and this isn't even shady.
But saying because a company has done something scummy in the past does not give them a pass to do.
Bad
How
argument.
does that make you
but-
feel that, wait, hold on a second. How does that make you feel that they lied to you before about something that was so important to you?
It made me upset, but here's the deal.
Why should they do that again?
That issue though, was something that was negative towards me and not negative against, like a group of people. I've owned every single battle pass since chapter 1 season 3.
Wait,
and
we're talking about the V-Bucks thing, right?
Well, yeah, I transitioned it into the I'm saying I was upset that happened, but that affected the entire player base. What's being affected here is only a select amount of it's a large group of people, but there's also a large group of people within that group of people that want them to come back for the people that couldn't get it. I know so many people that were pissed and upset they couldn't get X skin, Y skin. So what's the big deal with them bringing it back? But if it's just them going back on their word, they've done it so many times before.
Because they've done terrible things before, let's allow them to do another terrible thing that we are agreeing is
Horrible
objectively
argument,
bad.
unfortunately.
I'm not agreeing. I don't think them bringing battle passes back is bad, but I'm just saying I'm saying what I'm trying to say here.
Wait, hang on. You agree? You agree that them going back on their word is a bad thing, right?
No.
Oh, so them not going back on the word. So going back on the word is not a bad thing.
It happens. All companies do it, and the only thing.
Well, hold on, wait.
Everyone
whether or not all
does
companies do something has
That's
nothing
what
to
we
do with
should
whether or not
say.
it's bad.
Everyone
Slavery was
does
legal
it.
a few hundred years ago too. Just because a
that
bunch of people do
going
something
back
bad
on your
doesn't make that
word,
thing less bad. It just
changing
means that
your
the
mind
culture
is not
tolerates it.
inherently bad.
Don't know how to respond to that, but what I'm going to try and get to here is let's
I'm
find
sorry,
a middle
Willis.
ground. All right, paradigm. All right, I think this is a good middle ground.
All right, we
Maybe
gotta
can
stop you
agree on
there
this.
though. We just reached 7 votes.
It's great
Willis, thank you very
evidence to
much.
prove the
Thank you.
wrong point. Amazing
Good stuff,
evidence
Willis.
to prove
We
the wrong
got,
point.
is it Fire 3-0? Is that the only one that we haven't done yet?
GG's, Willis.
And crap,
And
what was that?
Chaos Demon 99 as well.
No, was it? Crap, I can't remember. There was another one. There's another one.
Maybe
Which one is this
Kovac
book?
as well.
Was it Fate? No, wasn't Fatebound Gamer. I could have sworn there was another one.
Fatebound Gamer couldn't get into the Discord.
Never mind.
Sloan Man did
So
it.
Fire 3-0, Chaos Demon, and AP Kovac have not spoken yet. From my
How about
understanding.
what if you do like a
Clark, did
thing
you
where they
wanna-
all run for the chair again?
Sure.
And see how many of them actually want to try to get in.
Only for the people that have not
Hang on.
gone.
Yeah.
Clark, did you want to rapid fire it and then finish off like you said?
Yeah, let's do rapid fire.
Okay. On your cue.
Go. Okay,
Fatebound
made it.
Gamer back.
Let's see if Fate's got it.
GG's, Willis. Willis had again amazing
I just wanna
evidence
say-
proving the wrong point.
Hey, you can hear me all right?
Yep.
All right, just want to say, Clark, you're a good content creator. I've been a fan of your content since probably around chapter 4, probably. Oh, yeah, sorry.
Thank you.
I just wanted to bring up a few points here about with founders as a starter, as a starter. the name is Founders, right? Fortnite Founders. It gives V-Bucks to people who supported Epic's like I don't know, early developmental phase.
Yes, for the buy and save the world.
Yeah.
Right.
And I want to say this is that I actually bought a code late, and I'm not really supposed to have that because I never supported the game when it was early. So there's something like that when it's really implied that it should be exclusive, and it's not because it can still be bought literally at Aniba, G2A. I'm not endorsing you to buy those things. Anybody who's watching, just saying.
Wait,
There
hold
are
on a second.
places
You
where
wait, you bought a code for for a Founders Edition of Save the World?
Yes, it was
Then
$300.
Then why should you not be able to get the cosmetic? It was stated that anybody that has a code for a Founders Edition should be get those cosmetics, correct?
Yes, that
then
is
you
true.
should be able to get those cosmetics.
However, you have to make an argument here that it's just like it's not. It should be the founder who got the skin, right? The founder who bought that pack should be the one who has that pack, since they are
If
the
they
ones
redeem
who...
it, but if they choose to give it to somebody else or sell it, they're well within the right to do that as well.
Yes, they
it's
are.
It's about whoever redeems it. It's not about whoever
Yeah.
originally held it.
Okay, if I can real quick, I want to bring up one more point on this real quick because I have another thing down that's actually kind of valid. So I've been here and watching the conversations people have had, and I say, why not just poll people on this? Why not have Fortnite come out and say, we've seen a lot of this happening, and we've seen the community arguing back and forth on this.
There's
So
not a-
we want your
Clark's
opinion.
gonna smack
we
him
want
on
to do
this
a
one.
poll, and whatever
They
the
already did
voting
that.
majority is. They
They already did
on
that,
Battle
but yeah,
Passes?
not for a poll, but they did have a survey that went out asking people their opinion on this. So Epic, in essence, has the poll in the background. I will agree. I will agree with you in the sense that I think Epic does need to come up with an official statement by this point.
Yeah.
But I think more so, and this is my point, the vast majority of people, how they feel about it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Like the vast majority of people telling you lie and go back on your word. Like even if the vast majority of people want you to do that, is just objectively not a good thing to do. That's where integrity comes in. You destroy you're throwing away integrity for the opinion of the masses. Integrity that's the essence of integrity.
Stop
you
agreeing
do
with
something in
him.
spite of how many people disagree with you.
Yes, Epic Games as a company has very much valued integrity, but there have been some spots where they have not. Like as an example, Rocket League, it's one of my favorite games. It's a game where, as an example, it's similar to Fortnite in the sense that you collect cosmetics, there's different rarities, and they have changed stuff to be a little more like Fortnite, like getting rid of some of the older rarities. But one thing that they got rid of was player trading. And I'm saying, as you said, remember how you said the founder has the right to the code and can sell it if he wants to? Why not make it where existing Battle Pass users or whatever can trade their content to other people for other things?
That's a fantastic idea. I've advocated for that since my first video. That's one of my
Yeah.
original
Me and Clark agree on that.
I think they should do that. And I also think that they should just, with reselling Battle Passes, I think that anybody who has the OG Battle Pass, because I've lost a lot of my accounts due to stupid things like getting hacked or whatever. And I think that the best thing Fortnite can do moving forward is just anyone who has played during that period of time should have, and has gotten I don't know, at least one free reward.
That
for the
would
free
be
pass,
interesting.
Should be allowed to
It's
buy.
if your
rebuy the
account is
Battle
old
Pass.
enough,
I
you can
think
get
that
that
should
Battle
happen,
Pass.
And I think
That would be
and
interesting.
if they do that, I think at least
Companies don't care about
something
integrity,
should be
but yeah,
given
they
to the
should.
players who
Is like an
bought it
obvious
during the
argument.
period of time, whether it be a
Okay,
cosmetic
real
set or
quick,
something
if your argument is to try to figure out a better middle ground, that's a completely different conversation.
Yeah.
I'm just saying that this item shouldn't come back because they were advertised a certain way, and going back on that is terrible.
Yeah.
That's a huge issue.
I have to say that Fortnite has went back, on the Save the World thing, they went back on it being free to play, and just at last minute we're like, yeah, no, we're taking this out of development. I'm still pissed off about what they did to Save the World. No, a lot of people don't care about it because it's one of the
Kind of want to go to the next person.
But I have to say, they went back on their promise with that. So it's like Epic as a whole, they can really do whatever they want. They're not going to be sued over that. They could be, but they're going to win because the
I
thing
don't care
is
about
that,
Epic getting.
yeah.
It's not really so much about a legal argument, bro. I get what you're saying, but that's
All
not.
right, we gotta hit pause right there. We reached the 7 votes.
All right, that's
Awesome.
fair.
Good stuff,
Hey,
man.
Clark,
Thank you.
just wanted to ask one more question real quick. What mic do you use? Because I kind of want to get a good mic.
It's
Not
a
really sure
beacon.
what I should get.
Cyan and I have the same mic. It's a beacon.
Nice. All right, appreciate it. Have a good one.
You too,
Thanks,
man. Thank
Gumzer.
you for coming on.
That is a crispy mic.
Okay. Who's left? Go. This is go. Whoever's left who has not spoken, go. How do we have more people than we did a minute
Buzz
ago?
was not here, I don't believe.
I'm no
Yeah,
idea
they.
where Buzz.
Yeah, I don't think they should go.
Yeah, let's get.
Agreed. Sorry, Buzz.
Okay, we'll get Apkovac on.
Car, I don't think we have enough
Hello?
time now.
Yo.
Yep.
How you doing? All right. So,
Man, go for it.
Oh,
So I know-
hang on. Sorry, guys. The votes are. You guys still have your buttons. Oh, never mind. We're good. Sorry about
so I
that.
know it's all good, yeah. So I know you brought up the point about they should, instead of bringing back these classic skins like Vader, who I would say is objectively a perfect Vader skin. It's just like, in some ways, I don't think they can top that. A lot of people like these original skins because how they look, and they don't think there's better than that. If they redo it, obviously they let me say that. Yeah, they can't top some people. They can't top some of these skins they made in the past because they just preferences. Fortnite will never be able to please the community because they always do wrong to most of these people. It's just interesting because, like, for example, to object about the people like the original base skin how it was. For me, with the wild, I think it was wilds or something like that. With the Raven skin, Rachel Roth version is something I will never be able to get, even though I
Willis,
played
stay
that season
in your
because I
seat.
just didn't do it enough. I feel like it's such a sucky thing just to be locked away forever just because, I had something going on. I just didn't have enough time. It's just kind of.
That's the appeal to unfortunate circumstances again. Once again, Epic Games is not responsible, nor should they be held to trying to
Yeah,
figure
this
out
argument's
how
not
to
gonna
compensate every
work.
single person that had personal issues go on in their life.
I think
I understand that it's unfortunate that you might have been able to complete
other
it, and
argument
might
he
not be able to
started
do it
with
in the
was
allotted
better,
time
to
that
be
they
honest.
gave you. That is unfortunate. No one's denying that. I think it's also unfortunate that some of the best Fortnite cosmetics are locked behind old battle passes. However, in spite of how you feel, in spite of how much that might hurt you, that's not a good reason for them to go back on the word and profit off of a lie.
I mean, it's not really as profitable as because these people. I feel most of the people at this point who already bought the passes, just being able to finish them isn't really profiting that much more. But it also comes to the point. Let's say in the future, like 10 years from now, if Fortnite is still around, but then most of the OG players who had all these OG skins might not be around anymore because most of them complain about how the game's progressing, how it's getting worse day by day. When it comes to that point, what is the appeal of locking these skins away still when no one else is still around to even use them? They're just collecting dust. It's just I don't know. It doesn't make sense to me with that point.
Whatever people decide to do with exclusives doesn't matter on why they should come back or not. You might not like the fact that these items are exclusive to the degree that they are, but whether people want to acknowledge it or not, that's part of what makes them so valuable and so sought after. See, this is the thing that I haven't brought up that nobody wants to acknowledge. But once these skins come back, and they've been out for 7 years, all of you that were fighting to get these skins back will be in the same position as the people that originally had them. They'll sit in your locker collecting dust. You won't appreciate them because Fortnite will literally probably come up with like 5,000 new skins by that point in time.
That's true, but I feel like that helps his point.
So my point is, instead of destroying the integrity of what the skins are,
So it's like you agree
giving
they
them
don't
back to
matter.
people that weren't there for the agreement, or couldn't complete getting the skins in the time that they were given, just leave them alone, and create new skins and new experiences for the next generation of players. But don't go back on the exclusives that you and give the exclusives
on
that you
shuffle.
gave
Yeah,
to
a
other
lot of
players.
people do.
Don't go back and give that to the masses, because a few people want them really, really bad, which in essence is at the core of my opposition's argument.
You know what? That's fair enough. I think you got
GG's.
that there.
Oh,
Get out. Well, with that, we reached the votes either way.
Good stuff, bro. Appreciate you.
Thanks for coming.
Cool.
Decent.
All right.
Decent arguments, I think.
We got fire still for sure.
Chaos Demon 99.
Oh yeah, Chaos Demon.
How do we
And I
get him?
believe that's it.
That's the last two.
All right, bring fire. Is that what we said?
All right, fire.
What's just Clark saying he cares more about the
Come
lie
on
aspect? I think it
down
boils
to
down to
the
him having it
stage.
and others not. Nah, I don't think so. I think he does care about
Hello,
integrity.
guys.
Hey, Fire.
Hopefully you all are well. Okay,
man?
so okay, right. So most of my points have been taken, unfortunately, but that's okay. We make shift. So basically,
Ooh, I
I
like
was
this
doing
guy
some
already.
digging because I did some previous research, and this is specifically targeting Chapter 1, Season 2's Battle Pass, so the one with Black Knight. Because obviously one of your points is about the morality and the lies, basically, so you're going back on a lie. Battle Passes, so from Chapter 1, Season 3 onwards, were labeled as exclusive. They say exclusive rewards, is exclusive. However, in Chapter 1, Season 2, on the blog posts, on the videos, everything, there is no mention about that Battle Pass being exclusive. It only says it can be earned in that season. Doesn't say it cannot come back. Doesn't say any of that. It just says
What do you think that means when they say that it can only be earned in that season?
Well, it can only be gained in that season. So if they re-release that season, right, so the exact same season, they can re-release those cosmetics because it wasn't previously stated that they are exclusive.
I am so happy you brought up this argument. This is the seasonal loophole argument. Okay, and I'm so excited to break that. You said this was the Chapter 1, Season 2?
Season 2, yes.
Yeah, so I'm looking at an image right here that says, buy in-game for 900 V-Bucks, limited time only. Limited time only means exclusive.
No, it
I'd be
doesn't.
more than happy to forward this image to you.
Yeah, yeah.
Wait. It actually doesn't.
Is it the purchase screen?
They were So my point is they were advertised as exclusive.
Okay, because like
Wait. That's like an easy dunk. Limited time only does not mean that. There's limited modes.
It wasn't exclusive.
LTMs.
There was no mention of exclusivity
Yeah,
within
there is.
it. If that makes sense.
Wait, that's an L. Clark moment. Dunk on him.
Please click and hold and drag the missing. Okay. Sorry, verify this. They were advertised as exclusives, but so please click in the. What the fuck? What?
LTM stands for limited time mode.
I'll go.
And they come back all the time.
I'll go off with what you say. I think it's fine. Yeah, because in Chapter 1, Season 3 onwards, they explicitly say in the blog posts and the videos that it is exclusive. However, that was the one that wasn't. So, even though with what you said, if we take that away for just a second, if it wasn't exclusive, so they had no mention in blog posts and that, would you say it should be able to come back?
If they didn't promise it as an exclusive?
Yeah, so if they didn't promise saying it was a exclusive,
yes,
you know.
If they didn't, that's the thing. I don't have a see. May I point out something here, because this is what I've realized that a lot of the Fortnite community conflates, because they think like people from my position are just trying to keep their OG skins rare. They don't want anybody to have
I
them.
wish
Right? But
he
here's
stomped
the issue.
him on that
I feel
point.
like
He
the opposition
pivoted.
conflates two different positions. One is and the positions are people that want to gatekeep item shop cosmetics. You equate people wanting to gatekeep the Battle Pass exclusives to the same level of cringiness, and that's just not the case. If you want to gatekeep item shop cosmetics, that is insanely cringe. However, Battle Pass cosmetics are a different situation because there's a different culture and a promise behind those things. If something was, so here's my point and how it relates to you. If something was not promised to be exclusive, then absolutely bring it back. However, even within the context of what you're saying, with the seasonal loophole, it still falls short in here.
I feel like there's got to be
even let's just say
it's
that
not a great
let's
argument.
just assume that you're
people
right.
say they
Let's assume that
promised.
Epic,
Like, no,
the only phrasing that they ever used was
they just
they
said
can
it.
only be offered in the seasons
can
in
change their
which they're featured in, right? Let's just say that I assume that at that time, do you think that Epic Games it's Chapter 1 Season 2? Do you think that Epic Games actually thought about bringing Chapter 1 Season 1 back? You think they actually thought about going back to old seasons? You think that was actually a part of their plan?
I reckon they could have foresighted it, of course, because they were banking on the success of it after Save the World following.
So you genuinely believe that from Chapter 1 Season 2, Epic Games had the intention to bring back old seasons?
Well, whether they had the intention or not,
it is important. I need yes or no. Do you think that they had the intention to do that?
Yeah, I would say yeah.
Okay, cool. Do you
All
think
right,
that
I need to stop you guys there.
Yo,
with that
Dad,
first
thank you for
meeting
3
that
months.
is a vote 7 to 5.
Okay, easy enough.
Okay. Well, thank you
Thank
very
you,
much
Fire.
for the opportunity, guys.
Good stuff, man. Who's the last one that we haven't had on yet?
Chaos Demon.
Do you have anybody that's spoken?
That would be
Chaos
Tom.
Demon 99.
Chaos
Oh yeah,
Demon.
Chaos Demon.
Tommy
Yep.
Vaughn.
Oh yeah, let's bring him on. Rocking the Darth Vader exclusive, repping
You came
exclusivity.
prepared.
Let's go, bring him up.
He crashed and burned at the end there. He was good, but I wish he
Wait,
stopped him in
reloaded,
that
yeah.
initial
Oh.
point so bad.
Do the vote.
Wait, yes. Okay. You guys hear me?
Yep.
Yep.
You're a little. Hang on, I can turn you up on my end.
Oh, sorry. It's because it's
Nope,
like
that's good.
2 in the
You're good.
morning. Okay. Hope you're all having a great evening. First of all, I want to continue with part of the loophole bit. So first of all, it says they can only be earned during that season. Didn't say they can't be purchased from the item shop after the season. So the first bit is that they can only be earned in that season. Nothing about them returning to the shop or being able to be purchased in the shop at a later date.
If they can only be earned in the season they're given, and no one ever expected the seasons to return, how could they ever come back?
Because there's a difference between earning it and purchasing it. You're purchasing the ability to earn it during that season for cheaper, but purchasing it directly from the item shop.
The distinction that you're making does not matter, and here's why. Even in the context of what you're referring to, it still implies exclusivity to that specific season. Earning the cosmetics, right? Earning the cosmetics or purchasing the cosmetics, either way. You can make an argument that purchasing is earning the cosmetics in a different way, right? But the point is this: whether you purchase them and earn them by buying the battle pass outright, or whether you earn them by grinding out the battle pass, it's still implying that the items are only going to be available for that season. Now, if you're one of the people that believes that Epic Games,
I do think this
actually
point's
plan-
interesting,
if we're
though,
being-
chat.
if
Genuinely,
we're being
I just
genuine
thought it
here.
was funny.
If you're one of the people that actually thinks that Epic Games from Chapter 1, Season 2 planned on revisiting that season and other seasons, I think you're legitimately being disingenuous. But fine, let's just say that that's true. Did they advertise it that way to their player base? Do you think the average Fortnite player at that time
Teriyaki
did
chicken.
not think that the items were exclusive?
Do you mind if I scrap that point? I've just realised that it's a bit stupid because you can literally purchase the cosmetics directly by purchasing tiers. So a bit stupid on my end.
It's all good, bro.
But
Low-key
also,
W debater.
It's back to the point of it being immoral because they're going back.
I
on what
wish he
they
stuck with
say.
the point.
Depends on how they have the intention.
It's an interesting
it could
point,
stop the
genuinely,
market
but-
of people buying accounts with these skins on, because if they bring them back, the rarity goes, but that means less people are having getting scammed by fake account sellers and that. And then
In order for you to get scammed by a fake account seller, you would have to go out of your way to do something that Epic Games tells you not to. That is on you, not on Epic. They have you plenty of warnings to tell you not to do that. If you get scammed, that is not the responsibility of Epic Games. That's on you for doing something that you weren't supposed to do in the first place.
All right,
Be
gotta
fair.
cut you off there. We've reached the votes.
yeah. Well, I hope you all have a really
No,
nice
I don't wanna play the
evening.
music. I
To
like
be
this
fair,
game.
You guys had much
so
better
much.
points than me.
Interesting points, bro. I appreciate it. All right, this is what I want to do.
That was a good debate. I like that.
Let's so this is what I want to do. Let's bring Struckman back, and then we'll bring JoJo back afterwards.
Sounds
and then
good.
We'll call it a day.
Awesome.
Yo, guys, get,
All right.
get off me,
I
bro.
need Darth Vader to step down.
Chaos?
Bro just went AFK. Kill him.
Uh-oh. All right, so the flag is brought down to 4 with that kill.
The flags don't matter at this point. This is
Oh,
everybody.
you just want to keep it going?
I just want to keep now. Yeah, now I want to talk to the people
right.
that have the two most interesting arguments.
Let's hit it.
Okay, Johnny. Chat. Should I bring up anything during this last argument that you think I didn't say?
Yeah, shoot the...
Fair enough.
Oh, the chair!
That's all right. Mine's cracked too. Now we're even.
And that's why people should play Cracked Coliseum.
All right, we're back.
Welcome back. So, before we begin, I want to understand the core of your argument. I want to understand what you're trying to
The
say.
thing
What
is,
the
Johnny,
point
I don't
you're
think it's a
trying to
great
get? Like,
argument, but
I got a
you
little
know.
confused because it sounded like we were agreeing on a lot. But tell me what the argument is that you're making.
Oh, just about the whole thing in total?
Just
yeah,
in
so,
general,
right, yeah. I think my argument is that Epic Games made a mistake selling permanent exclusivity, and I believe that people that have had skins
the
for 3+
FOMO
years
argument
got
is
their money's
a
worth.
little bit more
And
interesting,
if the
but-
vast majority of the community wants to buy these things, I'm not going to step in their way. I got a lot of cool stuff. If your side wins, then my stuff stays exclusive, and that's cool, and I'm fine with that. It's business as usual. If people have the option to buy
Willis.
stuff that I bought, I'd say go right ahead. I'm all about it. I'm not too worried about
See you,
Epic making
Juanito.
money. They clearly made the game. We all like the game, and I'm okay with them making money. I don't want to. I don't know. I just don't want to step in people's way. You know, if you want to buy the same thing I bought, I'm all about it. That's the core argument.
So, how do I say this? Okay.
I feel like he's kind of back
So
down.
this idea of people getting their money's worth is that the core of the issue here? People get whether or not people got their quote unquote money's worth isn't really what what we're talking about here. I don't really see how that matters. Whether or not people got their money's worth. Why is that important?
Okay, well, you do dismiss whether or not the entire community, if they thought something was good, that Epic shouldn't do it if the entire community believed it was actually a good thing to do, because you said, well, I'm going to dismiss that argument. You can't make that argument.
I didn't say you can't make that argument, but I could explain. I could
you're
go into
saying,
more detail. You want me to explain why
Yeah,
you think
please
why I
do.
think it's a terrible idea?
Sure.
The reason why that's an issue is because it's insanely short-sighted. You're going off the opinions and the perception of people as they are right now. But there's nothing to say that in 7 years the perception won't flip back in the other direction, number one. Number two, it sets a bad precedent for gaming in general. Epic Games being an influential company that they are, having arguably the most popular video game on the planet still to this day, them going back on their word doing something like this sets a bad precedent for other companies to do this with their cosmetics later on. And if Epic Games gets away with it, other companies will also feel like they can get away with it too if Epic Games did. 3, this, regardless of how bad people want the cosmetics to come back, right, is not a good reason for re-releasing the skins. They need, once again, this is the equivalent, in my opinion, this is the equivalent of a toddler in the playground that sees another kid that has a really awesome toy and them crying and screaming because they don't have it. You're mad that somebody else made an agreement with a completely different group of people than you, and you want Epic to go back on their word so you can enjoy something. Now, from your standpoint, I understand you personally are different because you're an OG that has the cosmetics and thinks that they should come back. In spite of all that, I don't think that that's a good idea, because in the grand scheme of things, if Epic ever wants to go back to an exclusivity model, which at some point they may have to, it's going to be a lot more difficult for them to do, or at least gain the trust of the player base. And I'm arguing that the trust, the ethics, the integrity of the company is more important than them going back on the word and giving some people that want the skins right now.
Okay, so right, you just said something really important. You said Epic might turn their back on their recent change of service where they're getting over exclusivity. You're saying that there actually might be a point where they decide they want to go back to exclusives.
Mm-hmm.
Why would you make that assumption when they've completely reversed exclusives on everything? And to be fair, starter packs, I honestly thought starter packs were absolutely never coming back under any circumstance. I always thought battle passes had a potential, but the fact that a starter pack came back, to me, means it's all coming. And I don't see why they would change that model after going that direction. Why would you reverse that?
Because my point is there may be something else in the future that they want to offer exclusively. Exclusives aren't inherently a bad thing. Exclusives boost sales.
That's why I'm saying timed exclusive is perfect. I bought an Xbox, okay, that came with Huntmaster Saber during season 3.
I have
not
that
season
too.
3, chapter 3, right? So
And
I had to buy
I've never put it on my account,
which came with an exclusive character. And I wanted that character not because they were rare. I thought that dude was cool. So I bought the Xbox, gave the Xbox to my friend, and here we are, I think 3 years later, and I'm like, if you want to go buy Huntmaster Saber in the item shop, I'm not going to stop you. I got 3 years out of it. I got my money's worth. I'm happy.
Sure. I'm not arguing with that. I'm glad that you're happy, and I'm glad
And
that
you know what we agree on? We agree on
I'm
something,
glad
by the way.
I'm glad that personally you don't care about it. But what I'm saying is that if a company wants to offer exclusives in a completely different way, if they want to, because they're, once again, one of the issues I have with this argument is that like we act like
JTK,
Epic is
it's
the only
rice.
company
It's
to do
teriyaki
this.
chicken.
There are so many companies that offer
My
exclusives
God.
that they only do one production run of and they never come back.
Yeah, but Overwatch reversed their exclusivity recently.
It doesn't
Right.
matter how many other people
Did they?
No, it does
removed
matter
their-
because when you see the waves
I didn't know
turning a
that.
different direction, even Epic's seeing that and they're going, wait, what's so Halo doesn't have an exclusive battle pass? Helldivers doesn't have an
But
exclusive
Halo
battle pass?
didn't. Halo and Helldivers didn't promise that battle pass and profit off those battle passes being
I
exclusive up
understand.
front. That is
Because
a
they're
big
proving
difference.
it's a better model.
That is, and that's fine. And I think that
Potentially.
what Epic Games is doing right now is a good model. I think that what they
I agree.
like moving forward for the few. I'm not arguing that future battle passes shouldn't be exclusive, but for the ones that you
Okay.
promised, that does it make some people feel uncomfortable that those items are not coming back? Absolutely. However, that's not a good reason for you to profit off of lying.
So I have a question though. So this is important. Epic brings back these passes tomorrow. What do you do? What is your reaction?
I mean, I'm not going to be happy about it, but I mean, life will go on. But that's not the
Okay.
point I'm making here.
No, I
That is
understand, but at the end of the
interesting,
day,
though.
if the vast majority of the community is going to freak out, uninstall the game, not play it anymore, not spend money, you would agree that Chapter 1 players were important to Epic Games when they were spending money 7 years ago, but the people spending money today are obviously the people that they care about. If they can get away with doing
Willis,
this, they're gonna
stop.
do it. And as I said, if you were saying if they do it, it's whatever, then I
You know
mean,
what the issue? You know what
we
the
agree
issue
on
is
that.
There you
here,
go, life
Struck?
will go
Yeah.
on.
I think the issue is that people don't. Once again, the difference is that I value integrity. I value people staying to their word. Personally, that might not be something that you value, and that's okay. Kind of. Actually, no, it's not okay. But
I knew he was
you
gonna
may not.
say
That might not be a virtue that you personally value, but I do. And that is the core of the issue. It's not so. See, we keep creating the straw man where it's, well, what if they do this? And what if these cosmetics come back in? How do you think it feels if this person can? None of that matters. At its core,
I'm just saying I personally don't care, and I don't see why you do.
Let me finish.
Go ahead.
The reason why I care is that it's not about the battle pass items per se. Like, more people being able to enjoy the items doesn't necessarily negatively impact my life. That's not the issue. But the core of the issue is Epic Games going back on something that they promised to people, as well as, I would argue, the culture of the items being destroyed. This is what I was trying to tell you earlier. If everybody got access to Golden Peely, which, as Loot Station pointed out in a previous stream, only 0.04% of players ever had, it would completely destroy the significance of what that skin meant. These skins don't just, it's not about the monetary value per se of the skins. It's more about the cultural significance of those skins. And to act like those skins don't have cultural significance for the exclusives that they were is being completely disingenuous. On a cultural level, those skins mean something, number one, because of what they were and how they
But like,
represented people.
why?
But number two,
And
more
like, why does
importantly
it
than
matter?
if Epic Games releases them to any degree, regardless of the loopholes, regardless of how bad people want the items, that will be them going back on their word. Whether you believe going back on your word is a lie or not doesn't really matter with the context of this conversation. Going back on your word for this particular thing is a bad idea because you initially profited off of it. You promised something, you advertised something a specific way, and to go back on that would be a bad thing. Even if players, the vast majority of players, don't see that now, I think it will destroy the integrity of Fortnite cosmetics as a whole moving forward. Even if you might that might be where we agree to disagree. But I personally think that would be a negative thing for the game overall, even for the players that want them to come back now.
Okay, I mean, fair enough. I think we agree to disagree on that point. I do think that it doesn't matter if the vast majority of people don't see it as a big deal. You keep using it as integrity. I need them to not lie, etc. But if people don't view it that way, they go, yeah, they're just shifting their marketing. And
however,
then that's how the community feels.
Just because, hold on a second. Just because the community feels a certain way about the lie doesn't make it any less of a lie. They still marketed something a certain way. They still went back on their word, and now they're profiting off of going back on their word. Which no one has.
If I tell my friend that I promised to be at their birthday party, and then my mom gets brutally murdered, and then I'm like, dude, I'm sorry, I can't show up to your birthday party. And they're like, bro, I get it. I know you were gonna come. I know you weren't lying.
You know what?
But some shit happened, and that's more important. Go be with your family when your dead mom is
Paradigm is a good
there.
example.
It's like,
I apologize, but Paradigm actually said limited time in the item
you can
shop, right?
change your mind.
I
Things
think
can
it's pretty
happen.
clear
You can
to a lot of
decide
people
different
that that's
things.
what they're buying. you could make the argument that
I don't
there's a
see
lot
why
of
like
item
going
shop
back on your
skins
word
that
is
are
always an
more
inherently
rare
bad
than
thing.
some battle pass skins because they haven't returned.
But I'm not
Um,
advocating that those
and
skins should never come back.
I understand. Yeah. And I agree with you that like when Black Widow came back, right? A lot of people considered that like an OG special skin. It came back and it lost its
Fly high,
specialness to
Mom.
people. If I'm saying that if your
Willis,
opinion
are you
is
being
these skins
deadass?
are cool because they're rare, I'm saying that's not what I value. I value what's a cool character, what's a cool design. And to lock away cool design.
Why can't somebody value both?
I think well, maybe you should, but once it's not rare anymore, then it loses its value, I guess. But
The other issue with what you're saying is like the item shop, and yeah, it's not as cool. That it objectively is not as cool when a limited number of people have something. But here's the difference: that one being not as cool is not an example of Epic going back on their word.
No, true, and I agree with that.
So that like I think so I think we really at the core we agree with that. We're not disagreeing on that. But yeah, it is not as cool because more people have it now. Yes.
You know what we actually really agree on that I was surprised to hear? That you're okay with player-to-player trading, and I think that's actually an awesome idea. I'm all about that.
I think that solves. See, there's
That's
the
a-
thing.
that's a-
Yeah.
yeah.
There's like different middle grounds that we can reach, and I think that's not really at the core of what I'm saying.
Okay.
Like I'm not saying like I don't want people to necessarily be able to have a way to get the skins. As a matter of fact, if you want a really hot take, I think what they did to italk was shitty. I think italk getting his account banned was a really shitty thing to do.
True.
In spite of the account merging, I don't agree with every decision that Epic's made, and I'm not trying to sit here and act like Epic can do no wrong. But the thing is, I don't think that. Here's the issue: going back on your word sets a bad precedent, and people are very short-sighted when they understand. Like, it's not. I'll be honest with you, bro. It's not something that our culture values. Most people don't value that. I value that. And the issue is more people should value it because it's a virtue. The opposition is asking for a vice, and in asking for that vice, we're not coming up with better solutions that will not only allow people an opportunity to get what they want, and not only allow Epic Games to make more money, but will also maintain the integrity of the game.
Right. So I agree with that point, and yes, the integrity of the company is important. But I would also the only thing. So this is where we disagree. The issue is if they did sell you something that was built in with FOMO, it was not consumer friendly, like I mentioned earlier. If they sold you something they shouldn't have because it was sketchy then, and they're like, okay, we got to fix this problem. And you're saying, well, no,
I don't
want them to
understand
fix
your
it
point,
because
so I'm not going to
benefited
make
from
it. I just don't.
And I'm saying,
I
well,
don't know.
they shouldn't have sold.
I
it
don't
to
know
you
enough
in the
about
first
that.
place.
The
So we can
problem
just
is
agree to disagree on that.
your premise is flawed. You're saying that they did something that they shouldn't. I'm saying that I'm not saying that. I'm saying that they didn't. Offering exclusives is not a morally
That's where we disagree.
You listen. Every company offers exclusives. Every company. And what's your
when it's a digital item, but
no, it's
I
not.
agree.
Hang on a second.
I
No, it's not
so
different.
agree.
Here's the consequences might. I'm so happy you brought this up too, because this
you like
is
Transformers. I got one thing for you later. Okay.
This is the digital argument. Yes, it is true that physical exclusives have different drawbacks than digital ones. But the point of an exclusive, which is what everybody ignores, the point of an exclusive is to maintain a certain level of integrity by offering a limited number of them. Intrinsically, that's what exclusives are. And to reward a certain group
There
of people
was not
that
a
choose to play
limited
your
number
game
of them.
at a specific time is not a bad thing. With the community, and this is where you and I fundamentally disagree. Just because somebody else has something that you don't doesn't mean that it's an attack on your personal character. Grow up.
Oh, I didn't say that. I didn't say it was a personal attack on me. That someone can't buy a skin that I have. I mean, if you can't buy the skin, it's not a personal attack against you.
The issue. I'm not saying you personally, but I'm saying that the people that are advocating for this in general. When you talk about actually, in a way, you kind of are saying
completely
that,
fabricated.
because you're saying that because they use FOMO. FOMO's a dirty practice to try to manipulate people. Oh,
it might be.
Wait, hold on a second. Life is intrinsically about FOMO. Hey, bro, did you know this? You're gonna die one day. Did you know that?
Yeah, that's why you shouldn't care about these skins. But okay.
Well, wait, hold on a second.
True. To be fair, right?
Wait, hold on. Hang on. I shouldn't care about these skins.
Yeah.
Everyone cares about hang on. Everybody cares about.
No one should care about the exclusivity side. If you got 2 years out of it, look, you got your mileage.
Stop. Everybody
made that
cares.
argument earlier.
Everybody cares about the skins, and that's this is the issue that your position has.
I'm
You
saying
try you
forever, dude. I don't need to have it forever to feel like I owned it, before
it's
you
hold on a
did.
second.
3 years
Hold on a
before
second.
you owned
Hang
it.
on a second. You're creating a straw man. That's not the problem
Okay.
here. The problem is not because I want it to be exclusive forever because I want to feel like I owned it. No, it's because to bring it back after you've offered it
My
exclusive
legs
is a lie. It's wrong. Look back on your word. And regardless of how
We're
many
just
people
looping
want it,
again. We disagree on this. Yeah.
once again, and that
I
that's
think that
fine
if they fix an
hang on,
issue,
hang on a second. It's fine that we disagree on it, but you're ignoring that point because it makes you uncomfortable.
No, I'm not ignoring that point because it makes me uncomfortable. I think that they're fixing an issue that they caused, and yeah, they're going to make money off it. But I don't
What
care
is
that they're
the
going to make
issue?
money
That
off it.
some people can't have something that other people have? That's the nature of exclusivity. In all regards. Yes. Welcome to life.
Honestly, sorry. I want them to bring back every skin except Zoe. Fuck that
okay.
ugly bitch. I never want to see her.
That's what I'm talking about. Like the argument on the other side is
Yes, and once again, I am telling you that I have these skins. I don't care. You're the one saying, well, I don't want anyone else to have it because it's really important that I have it. And I'm saying, it's really not that important that
hold
you
on a
have this
second.
thing.
See,
No,
this
it's
is why
not.
I keep looping the argument back to you.
What did you just argue?
Because this is why I keep looping the argument back to you.
Oh my God, Loki, that would go crazy, Loki.
The point is, it's wrong to go back on your word, fundamentally. And there is nothing wrong with offering exclusives to people, even if you disagree with that.
It's okay to go back in your word if it's a benefit to the vast majority of people.
Thank you!
Yes,
But it's
I agree.
not a-
I
but
should
see,
not be held to my bad takes. No. That doesn't make sense.
Thank you.
You'd
Hold on a
want
second.
corporations to be able to make changes that are for the positive. Yes, you would not want to lock them in forever. No.
Hang on a second. We do want corporations to make changes for the positive, but not if it requires them to. But hang on.
What do you
but
mean
if
not?
it
So
requires
you
them
don't
lie,
want
which
things
goes
to
back
get
the
better?
the point that we agreed
Oh
on.
my God.
Once again, it's a point that makes you uncomfortable. But the point is this: instead of asking Epic to lie to their player base and go back on the
I
word,
think this is
what
where
I'm
Clark
advocating
is
for put in a
genuinely
training
wrong,
system.
and I think it's
Make
where the
recreations
entire
of
argument
these
hinges.
exact
He just said he
cosmetics.
doesn't want
Do
things to
that
get better
rather
because
than
it goes against their
destroy
word.
the initial
What?
integrity of it and your word and your trust that you built with the company or your player base. Excuse me.
Hey, I'll shake your hand on this point. They bring in player trading. I don't care anymore. Okay, we won't even argue this point ever again. And I think anyone that still argues Battle Pass exclusivity after they enable trading, then look, there's no point anymore. You get exactly what you want. It's perfect. I can get rid of the stuff I don't want. You get rid of the stuff you don't want.
Yeah.
But anyways, cool, man. Awesome.
Good stuff,
Oh my
bro.
God, oh my God.
Let's bring in JoJo. Let's do it.
Hey, Strucker, before you take off, I just want to say one
What's up?
thing. I don't know if it ended up coming through the mic, but I'm sorry. There was one point where you guys were talking where I laughed, and it wasn't to either anything that you guys said for anyone who watches this
I
back
didn't even
too.
hear it, bro.
Okay, good. Because Cool Cat came in and just dropped a chat that said, "I swear Clark would gatekeep." Sorry, I swear Clark would gatekeep the cure to cancer if it was exclusive.
Oh no,
that's fucked
I
up.
I didn't expect to read that, and I laughed out loud while you guys were talking.
I'm
so
getting
sorry
off
about that. Thanks for coming, Struckman.
My final challenger of the evening.
I'm ready.
Hello.
Let's do it.
Okay, so me first, you first. What we doing?
You go first.
Okay, so there was actually a point where I started screaming at the end of that conversation you just had. And so I would like to just initially go back to that because I think you said something, and I think it's where the entire argument, at least for my mindset, it entirely hinges on this. You were talking about how he was talking about how, if it's for the greater good, most people want something that companies should make a change or can make a change, I guess, And you were saying, you verbatim said that they should not do that because it would go against their word, right?
Yes, but let me clarify that.
Okay.
What I was saying was that they should not make that specific change. But there are other changes that should, and this is what I told him. There are other changes that would be better for Epic to make that would solve the problem that everybody's having currently, while also not requiring Epic to lie.
So
that's my point.
What he was saying is as a person, should you be beholden to your word if you are wrong or in the wrong, if you are doing a wrong thing that you view as not good?
Should you be beholden to your word if you are in the wrong? So in other words, if you're doing something that's objectively wrong, should you hold your word even if you're doing something objectively wrong?
Right. I wouldn't necessarily go as far to say objectively wrong because there's a.
Okay. Well,
I think this is kind of a subjective argument, but go ahead.
Well,
let's just say objectively wrong for the argument.
Okay. Yeah. Yes, you should change. You should change something if you are in the wrong. However, with this situation, Epic was not. I don't have once again, I don't have an issue with exclusivity. The wrongness that you're trying to claim is that exclusivity is this evil demon that ruins people's lives.
Right. I'm not trying to say that. I'm not trying. I again, I think this is kind of like a splitting hairs argument. I don't think. I've made it pretty clear. My argument lies on this end. I am fine with either. I think it's a greater beneficial good. I can see the drawback, but I'm not saying it's this big demon in the closet that, you know, blah 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 blah.
It's a greater good in the short term, but not the long term. Maybe, and even it maybe.
But my point being,
why is it a greater good because more people can have something?
It's a greater good because more people are able to enjoy something. I would prefer, I have these skins already. I would prefer to see more people wear them, more people enjoy them. I think it's a greater good. And I don't think a company should be beholden to something that they do not believe in anymore.
There's so many things to unpack with that. Even if that thing, so the issue is you could argue you're trading one evil for another. So we don't like this thing that we used to do. However, we're gonna go turn around and lie to our player base, our initial player base.
No, they just don't believe in it anymore. I don't think you should be beholden to a thing that you don't believe in anymore. Like they've decided, you know, going forward that they no longer want to do this thing. I think there's a large argument for FOMO being a moral questionably thing to do, and perhaps they decided on that and they no longer want to be beholden to that thing.
And I'm actually, you know what's crazy? We don't really disagree on this point. But here's the issue: is the solution that you're offering. The solution should not be to go back on your word. The solution would be to move forward and make sure that no battle passes moving forward are non-exclusive, and which is what they did. So they've already done what you stated. However, that is not a pass for them to go back and create a new problem and lie.
Again, I just don't think that you should have to be beholden to something that you disagree with.
Hold on a second. They're not beholden to that, and this is the issue with your argument. They are not beholden to that.
But you're saying they should be.
Wait, hang on a second. They're not beholden to that, which is why they changed it for passes moving forward. However, for the agreement that they made, let me put it this way: the agreement that they made, they should be held to that.
But why, if it's for the greater good?
It's not for the greater good, and that's where we disagree. It's not. Giving it into people. Well, hold on a second. Let me just. You know what? Fuck it. All right. Gloves off. Tell me. Can you explain to me how new players not getting these cosmetics will ruin their lives?
No, it won't. I don't think it's this big demon. However, I just think it's a beneficial.
So hold on. So hold on a second. So if you agree that by having these exclusive cosmetics, it doesn't ruin anybody's lives, why are we going back? Why would we risk going back on our word? Like that. Okay, actually, you know what? How much do you value integrity? Don't you think that would prove to be a lack of integrity if you went back
again?
on an agreement?
I think not being soul bound to perhaps what you believe is a bad take. I think that is a good thing to do morally.
So I disagree morally, because here's the deal. The issue with that is
I think that's crazy.
Hold on. It's not crazy, because here's the problem. Anytime your feelings change, then you decide to go back on your word at any point.
It doesn't have to mean that though, because it's been like 6 years. It's been 6 years, and you can grow and change as a person and realize that you don't want to do certain things. If I was like,
wait, stop. And guess what? That's what they did. They did that by getting rid of exclusivity moving forward. But that does not give you a pass to destroy the agreement that you made with other people after profiting off of those people. You can do both. You can not be beholden to that, right? To that structure and move forward, but also maintain the integrity of the thing that you had before.
But you do not believe that it is a good thing any longer. That previous thing. So why would you not want to change it?
Because you can't change the past.
Yeah, I mean, they literally can in this instance. They can say we're not doing that thing we said we were doing.
Once again, under this context, yes, they can go back on their word, yes, but they can't. But here's the deal: they cannot change the promise that they made to those people at that time, as well as the benefits that they received after making a certain promise.
Yeah, and I think they can do actions to try to prove that they genuinely thought that was a bad move, apologize for it, and move forward as a company while going back on that word and saying, hey, this is not what we believe in anymore. We actually think this was kind of like a unfriendly consumer practice, and we're going to change it retroactively.
Jojo, hold on a second. Jojo, here's the issue with what you're saying. They have already done that. They have already done that by getting rid of Battle Pass exclusivity moving forward. However, how do I say this?
No, I think you're misunderstanding me.
I get exactly what you're saying.
Okay.
I understand exactly what you're saying, but I want you to try to understand what I'm saying. Even though their feelings have changed about how they handled something in the past, that does not mean that they should go back on the word and their commitment that they made to somebody else, especially after profiting off of it. That is not a good justification for going back on your word, lying to your audience, and profiting off of the lie.
Right. I agree, but it's kind of like, I still think if they have decided that this is their belief going forward, like, yeah, they profited off of something shitty, they shouldn't do that, but they already did it. And that's their belief that they already did it.
But hold on a second. Here's the problem. Here's the fallacy. I'm arguing from the standpoint of presuming that they did something wrong, and I'm arguing that they didn't.
Right. I'm arguing that they have changed their mind and think that was not a good consumer practice.
Even if they changed their mind and thought that it's not a good consumer practice, here's the issue. And this is where I said you can't change the past. This is where they can't change the past. You can't put the genie back in the bottle in the sense that you can't give back the money that you already earned from benefiting off the game at that time. You can't change that. So because you can't change that, you should not go back on your word.
But just because you did something and you benefited off of it doesn't mean you can't go back and be like, dang, that was a shitty thing to do. I should not do that.
Yes, then that's what they once. Oh my God, we're talking in circles.
I guess, but I'm just saying, like, I think they can ungate it because they can in this circumstance. Like in real life, you cannot go back and change your action. It's okay. It's not about a can. It's about a should. So should they? I think if they think it's morally wrong, or maybe I won't even go that deep. It's a bad consumer practice. I think in this circumstance they can, so they should. If that's what they believe as a company.
It's amazing to me how we are actively fighting. Like you really
wait, what?
You really don't value people holding their word, do you? It doesn't
I
mean
do.
much to you.
No, it really does.
It really no, it can't.
It does.
It can't mean much to you, JoJo.
It does. I think integrity is incredibly important, and that you need to be true to yourself as a person. Because you're not beholden to the shitty things you have done. If you have grown and learned as a person, I'm saying it's a bad consumer practice. I think if you polled the community, a lot of polls that I've seen have turned out that yes, the community wants something back. So yeah,
Hold on. Do we agree that fundamentally lying is a bad thing?
Yes, I think lying is a bad thing, but I think
we fundamentally agree that integrity is important, right?
Yes.
Do you think that profiting off of a lie is a lack of integrity? Shows a lack of integrity?
I think if the lie and the profit was negative, that going back on that is a good thing to do.
Hold on a second. This is something that people need to learn. Sometimes in life there are no good outcomes, right? Sometimes in life that like sometimes you have to stand by certain things that make you uncomfortable, right? But above all, This is not the solution. Here's the issue with what I'm saying with where you're coming from. Epic Games does not have to go back on their word to resolve this problem.
No, I agree. I agree with you on that. Again, we came
with that, then why would we advocate for them going back on their word and destroying their integrity?
I think there are other ways. Do you not think that a trading system kind of inadvertently goes back on their word? You cannot earn these cosmetics. You are technically earning it through a different means. It technically goes back on their word. It's just a different way that we've agreed upon in the past would be okay.
Hold on a second. A trading system is not them going back on their word. Epic Games is not re-offering these items for a profit. But what they are allowing people to do.
So if they brought them back for free, they're not either.
Wait, say it again?
If they brought them back for free, they are not profiting either. Which is what you disagreed with before, so.
Right. They're in that context, they're not profiting off of it either. However, they are re-releasing something that they see. Here's the difference. Even with that, they are still, if they give everybody the skins for free, they are re-releasing the item. With the trading system, Epic Games is not re-releasing the cosmetics. Epic Games is not offering them. Other people, them giving other people the option to trade the cosmetics is not the same as them going back and offering the cosmetics.
I think a lot of people would still be upset with that, though, and saying, well, these people are still earning it. It's still a loophole similar to them bringing them back during the seasons are coming back. I feel like it's the same loophole through what they've actually said.
No, it's not a loophole because Epic Games hang on a second. Giving people the ability, for example, if they said, you know what, we're going to allow account merging again, right? That's not Epic Games going back on their word that causes them to directly benefit from a lie. Those things are just intrinsically different.
I'm sorry, can you repeat that?
Epic Games, what did I say? Epic Games allowing people to have a trading system is not the same as them going back on the word and profiting off of a lie, or even allowing the cosmetics, giving away the cosmetics for free that they made people pay for. They said that these cosmetics are not they're not coming back, and it's still true. Those cosmetics didn't come back. Now you have to get them in a secondary market. They're just lifting the embargo off of a secondary market, but that's not a loophole. That's not Epic Games being able to profit necessarily off of the.
So when they said these skins are only earnable in the season they're in, when the season comes back, how is that also not just the same thing?
Because you can never now you're going to a definition of what does it mean? What does a season mean? Because even if they bring the OG map back, that's still not bringing back the season.
Yeah, what it seems like their plan is to go back to those original seasons.
Regardless of what the plan is, you're missing the point. That's still not the season coming back. You'll still be in chapter 6, season 1.
I mean, I guess I just disagree on this point, but I don't know if there's anything else that we can talk about that we could agree with, but I guess my main point is just I don't think you need to be beholden to things that you no longer agree with are good practices.
Once again, we agree on that, but the difference is in how we believe they should execute it. I believe that should mean for new battle passes going forward, not for the ones that you profited off of for being exclusive.
Yeah, and I think I disagree in the way that if they think that it was a bad practice, that because they can retroactively go and change that, I am.
Listen, there might be some. Once again, I'm not arguing that there might not be some loophole where they can figure out a way to do it. That's not what we're arguing here. I'm just saying that if they do that, if they make the decision to go back on their word and do that, that is a problem, and it should be a problem.
But you agreed that you shouldn't be beholden to your word. I'm trying to figure out where the disconnect there is. Like if you shouldn't be beholden to your word if you disagree with it being a good practice, then
what I'm saying is that
why can you not go back on your word?
Maybe I don't believe that then. Maybe I don't believe that you shouldn't be beholden to your word. I do believe that if you set up maybe I misunderstood initially.
Mm-hmm.
I do believe that even if it makes you uncomfortable, if you okay, you know what? I'll give you a prime example. Okay, I believe that if you promise something to somebody, even if that thing makes you uncomfortable, even if you don't like the promise that you made, even if your opinions have changed, I think that moving forward, you should be able to handle transactions and situations and promises differently. But for your previous promises, no, you should hold to that in spite of your values changing. Because that
But you agree that you can make a bad promise.
Let me give you an example. Okay, we had months ago, we had a person in my Discord that was causing a lot of trouble.
Yeah.
That was just overall just a terrible person to have around.
Yep.
My mods had promised this person something. And the reason why they promised this person something was because they didn't because they wanted him to act better or do something a certain way. Then when it came time to fulfill the promise, my mods were like, no, we got it. We just decided that because we want him to do what we wanted to do. I said, did you promise that thing to him? They said, well, yeah. I said, give it to him. Even if it made me feel uncomfortable, even if I thought it wasn't a good thing for the culture of my server, we promised it. When you make a promise, you hold that. And for Epic Games, they made a promise to people. Even if it makes them uncomfortable, yes, they should hold it. Yes, you should be beholden to that, even if your values do change.
So then I'll ask you a question like, what if I make a promise to do something bad?
So what, like to kill somebody?
Sure.
No, Jojo, you should not do that.
Okay, so what I'm saying is if I make a promise to do something bad and then I go, oh, I shouldn't do that, that's bad.
But that's not what Fortnite did. What's the bad thing that Fortnite did?
Again, I think they think now that that was a bad consumer practice.
Okay, here's my point. Even if they think that that's a bad consumer practice, that is not an excuse for them to go back on their word.
Even if it was something they consider bad. So I should be held to my word and go kill someone.
No, Jojo.
But do you see the line I'm making? Like, where's our disconnect, genuinely?
Here's the issue. I don't know why my brain's drawing a blank right now, but there's a big difference between what you...
I really want... Because this is where me and you, I think, pinpointedly disagree. Like, and I can't figure out why. Because I can't figure out why we disagree. Because I just think that if you make a bad promise, you should not stick to it. Like, if someone told me they promised to kill me, I hope to God that they go back on that promise. And so that's where my brain just goes to with this whole thing.
Well, one difference is that there was nothing to be gained from the initial promise. You didn't benefit. By making the promise, you didn't benefit from anything up front.
Right. If they said, I promised, like, they gave me $1,000 and they promised they would kill me or something like that.
You give them the $1,000 back and say, like, yeah. But see, the Epic can't do that.
Yeah, I guess it's like the refunding argument where it's
so that's my point. It's just like I think the difference is that like they initially profited off of.
But I think in life you can
also hang on, equating killing somebody.
I know it's extreme.
That's not it's.
But I think there's lesser bads that you can equate it to.
Give me an example.
Like you agree that doing something bad is wrong.
Right, but you haven't proven what Epic Games did is bad.
Right, so I think that's probably where the disagreement lies.
Hang on a second. Even if they think that they did something bad, doesn't mean that it's bad.
Right, but even if you think,
but also here's another issue with your analogy, right? In your analogy, the resolution is to in turn do something good, right? It ends up being a positive for both of you. You don't go through the trauma of having to murder somebody, and this person gets to keep their life, right? In my analogy, you're trading, in essence, if I agree with you that they did something bad, you're trading one evil for another.
Right, but this is when you're working with one individual and another individual, and they're working with millions of people who aren't all gonna agree. So it's kind of like
I think that strengthens my argument, not yours. Because of the fact that there are so many people with so many varied opinions and viewpoints, it's best just to leave. It's easier to fulfill your word and leave everything alone.
See, but this is where I would say your integrity as a company, if you decide that is a bad consumer practice, it is integral to keep that.
You hang on a second. If you decide it's a bad consumer practice for your future endeavors, you hold to that.
Yeah, we're just gonna circle. I think.
You hold to that. You let people know, hey, and that's in essence what they did. But that doesn't give you a pass to be like, and also fuck everybody else that came before. We're just gonna go.
No, they just don't think they just think it was, bad.
Jojo, here's the deal. You're trying to figure out a way to circumvent the lie and the profit off of the lie, but there's no way around that. Even if they think they're doing the morally righteous thing, they still have to do something intrinsically negative in order to do it. And for Fortnite cosmetics, it's not worth them going back on the word as a company when all they have to do what you're saying to have a different position or a different culture moving forward with the company is to change the future exclusivity, not retroactively change it after profiting off of it and not being able to put that money back in the players' pockets.
Again, I think you can profit off of something and then agree that it was a bad thing to do and then want to go back on it.
Yeah, I'm not arguing that. Yes, you can do that, but that is a bro, listen to me. No successful business would make a habit of doing that. That would be, and I pray to God, Jojo, for your business, you don't do that. That is a terrible thing to do to your customers. Never do that, ever. You don't go back on your word, retroactively change something after you've profited from it. I
think you do if it was a bad thing. I think you do.
No.
Yes, if it was a bad thing, you go back on it.
Hold on a second. This is the issue. Because here's the deal. Even if you go back on your word, it doesn't change the fact that you did it.
Yes, it doesn't. And that's where an apology comes in. And you go, guys, I've changed. Yes. That's where you go. This was a bad consumer practice, and I am no longer going to be doing it, and I'm going back on my word.
Hey guys, listen. We made billions of dollars off of you by lying to you and turning our back on you. But listen, our bad. We're so sorry. Here's an exclusive style.
They have shown
consistently. That sounds like one, bribery, and two, that is insane. That is insane that you would advocate for that. That is crazy.
I don't see how.
Okay.
I think apologizing is actually a redeemable quality, and I think if you're deciding where you want to go as a company and you regret what you did in the past, that you should change it.
You can't change it, is the point.
They can.
You're not changing. Are you changing all the billions of dollars that you made?
Nope. They decided that was a not good consumer practice.
That's very convenient. Listen, that's very convenient that you decided that that the consumer practices was a really bad idea after making billions of dollars off of your player base, and now stand to make billions more after going back on your word.
So release them for free.
You think releasing the cosmetics for free is the solution? So you're still going back on your word. We're just not going to profit off of it. So every battle pass from chapter 1 season 1 to chapter 5 season 3 should be. You're saying that they should give those for free?
If they think it's important and they think it was a bad consumer practice and they want to do that, I think that is
Jojo. You're trading a bad consumer practice for a worse one. You just don't want to admit that that's worse. You might listen. FOMO exclusivity might make people feel uncomfortable. It might not be what you like now. Epic Games might have even changed their stance on it. That is totally fine. But it does not change how the culture of Fortnite was at the time. The funny thing that I find about this entire the funny thing that I find about this entire situation is that we are fighting for people that either didn't participate in the culture at that time, or we're fighting for people that shat on the culture and said, "Fuck you, losers! Imagine paying for skins in a free video game." And then 7 years later, because either people weren't there or because people shat on the people that were supporting the game at that time,
you're leaving out an important group of people.
Hang on a second. We're saying, yeah, let those people have the cosmetics. Now, granted, I also acknowledge the fact that there are people like you that like to virtue signal and throw out these moral grandstands. You know what? I think that it's the righteous thing for the company to do. They realize their mistake, and after making billions of dollars on me and all my friends off of offering things that are exclusive, they should give them to everybody else and make billions more. That is not a good reason to go back on your word. But if you think that I can't change your mind on that, and I'm not going to try to. But if you can't see where that's a problem, how you can't put the genie back in the bottle after you've profited off of it, that's where like the billions of dollars that you've made and will stand to make because of a lie? That's crazy. But hey, maybe they'll do it. And if they do it, that is whether you realize it or not, whether the rest of the player base realize. I could be the last man standing on the planet that believes in this. Destroying the integrity of your company and your word is not worth the money that you can make or the warm, fuzzy feelings that people will feel for the 2 weeks after they've gotten the cosmetics. It won't. It's not good. It's not just. It's not moral. It's not fair. It's not good.
I think my retort to that would be it is important. Integrity as a person is extremely important. I think doing what you believe in and sticking to your morals and being able to change your mind for the betterment of one another is a good thing. And I think
But why does changing your mind have to mean like lie?
I think if I say I think if I say that I promise to kill someone and I change my mind, that is a good thing. And I'm sorry for lying.
I already explained to you how that analogy doesn't work for a couple of reasons.
Well, I mean, it quite literally, I know it doesn't work for this exact example, but I think lying in that circumstance is a good thing. And I think it can boil down to the exact same argument. It's just at a lower scale.
It can't, because you like, we all agree that murder is objectively a bad thing. We don't all like it's not cut and dry that exclusives are.
Okay,
like,
but if I think they
wait, hang on. As you admitted earlier, nobody gets hurt because somebody has something that somebody else doesn't. You're not actually like there's no actual harm being done to you.
I think I just say last point, and then we can drop this conversation forever.
Go ahead.
I think if they decided as a company that they no longer believe in FOMO, that it is upholding their integrity to get rid of it. And I think there is some value in what you're saying. However, I think integrity, you cannot agree with it. You can think it's wrong, but going back on your word, if it is no longer what you believe in, whether you think it was a right or wrong thing, people can decide. And I think that upholds your integrity. That's my last point.
No, you can't uphold your integrity by profiting off of a lie. You can't. You can't. But even if what you're saying is true, you still can't uphold your integrity after profiting off of lying to people.
I think there's just a court using the word lie here. I think is just not where I agree, and I think it's it's going back on your word for what you perceive as a benefit. So.
Hey, you know what? As long as your morality changes, if your feelings change, there should be no objective standard outside of you. As long as your personal feelings change on something, and you in the moment think it's a good idea, well, no matter who it hurts, just go back on it, because it doesn't matter. Especially if you get to profit off of it in the end. Wink.
Yeah, that's not at all what I'm saying, but if you want to just disingenuously take my argument and skew it in every possible way, we can keep doing that forever.
Jojo, that is exactly what
it is. Exactly not my argument, bro. I just feel like you're not listening, but that's fine. We can move on.
You may not like it, but you may.
I don't think you like what I'm saying either, to you and to your face. Like, I don't think. I think going back on your word when it's a perceived negative thing, and you upholding your integrity as a person's actually a good thing. And you're gonna say all these things about whatever, but
going back on your word intrinsically means a lack of integrity.
If you're going back on your word to what you decided was a negative thing that harms someone or some people, I think that is a good thing, and you should not be beholden to bad things that you have said or have believed.
And I disagree.
That just to me sounds like you just want people to stay beholden to a bad thing. You want things to be worse because people said, I promise to do this thing.
But once again, and this is what you keep ignoring, the burden of proof is on you to prove that it's worse. It's not.
Why is the burden of proof on me? I could say the same thing to you. Burden of proof is on you to say that it's good or whatever.
I'm giving you the reason why it's good. I've been giving you the reason why it's good this entire time.
I've been giving you the reason why it's good too. I've seen many polls about this
because people really want the cosmetics to come back, and because if they Epic Games just did terrible things to them. That's your
because
argument.
I just want to keep my skin because I don't want other people to use. Like, I could do the same thing, bro. I don't believe any of that. I just think that it's a good consumer practice to not fucking put your whole entire business on this like weird FOMO thing. And if they agree as a company that that's what they want to do going forward,
why is Epic Games offering exclusives an evil thing, but when everybody else does it, it's okay?
Again, we talked about this last time. I think there's an inherently different thing when it's a digital conversation and it's a fabricated a fabricated exclusivity, there was no limited amount, bro. It was infinite as long as people bought it.
Yeah, it was limited by a time frame. But that doesn't make it. That doesn't destroy the exclusivity of that thing, right? Because it's timed.
Yeah, speaking of limited time things, a limited time thing, I mean, LTMs are limited time modes and they come back all the time. It's something that was brought up earlier. It's like limited time things can come back and still adhere to limited time.
Not when you promise for those things not to come back and profit.
Well, if you say they're a limited time thing, that's not a promise.
Not when you profit off of those things.
For the season 2 battle pass in the original season, saying it's limited time, something can come back and be limited time and still come back, as long as it remains limited time.
I don't even know where the conversation. Let's just disagree on this one.
Yeah,
this is not getting it's not getting anywhere. I appreciate you though, bro.
Yeah,
I'm not getting it.
Yep. All right.
So, what do you guys think about Battle Pass skins coming back?
Fuck you, Clen.
They should stay away forever.
Oh man,
that was fun, man. I enjoyed that. That was a lot more productive than I thought it would be. I expected a lot of butt hurt.
Buying.
I enjoyed the conversation.
Yeah, thanks for doing this, Klarque and everybody else.
Bro,
but mostly Klarque, his energy.
3.5 hours.
I know.
I just looked at the timer and I was like, what?
That's crazy.
That was crazy.
Klarque,
That was one hell of a conversation.
give a final statement.
Yeah.
Clen directing a movie out here.
I'm doing a good job.
I know that I don't really have much of a final statement other than that I appreciate everybody coming through. Thank you for jumping to the live stream. I need to rest. This was a long stream, but I appreciate everybody that jumped on, that got onto debate. Even if things did get intense, I appreciate every single one of you guys, and there's no hard feelings. Chat, you ultimately decide where you stand on this based on the information that was being given. I appreciate y'all. That's it.
And I thank everybody for coming as well. Stu especially for making this amazing map.
W Stu.
You're welcome. I'm gonna work on improving it soon.
Dude, it's already fantastic. And thank you everybody for being patient, respectful. Klarque for your energy especially. And everybody watching it. I was reading chat too. Everybody in chat talking about it. I was reading what you guys had to say. You made me laugh a couple times, which I tried not to laugh at, but
I know.
I appreciate everybody sticking around the whole time.
JoJo couldn't stop.
Yeah, there were so many things.
Yeah.
There's so much going on. Can we JoJo, can we play your map another time, or did you still want to go do it tonight?
I mean, could I just show you guys it real quick? Like literally 10 minutes.
That's fine.
All right, let me stop my recording.
Actually, no, I want to go back on my word and not actually play the map. Because I'm tired now. So because it makes it, that my policy on this has actually changed. My values as a person, so I just don't feel like I should
Hey,
play
bro,
it.
if you had an emergency, I would be totally fine with it, and I think it's okay that you could go back on your word.
Oh, Lord. There is no emergency. I just don't feel like doing it.
I mean, see, that's where I would disagree.
Klarque, I would feel better if you didn't do it.
Oh, would you?
Yeah.
Oh well, because Clen. Hey, Dag, do you also agree?
What the heck does badge mean?
What?
Do you also agree that I should go back on my
It
word?
doesn't matter what Dag thinks. I want.
No. Well, we need the vast majority of people to agree with you. That way, if that's the case, then it makes it morally okay. So I can fit what's
Let's pull the chat.
In Clen's stream. We need
All
a
right,
neutral.
I am going to end this recording. Thank you
neutral
very
ground.
much, everybody.
W.
Maybe make JoJo party leader.
I guess on that note, I'm gonna.
Yeah,
I'm glad that went well.
Sounds good,
I
Stu.
will
Thank you for
talk
your
to
help.
y'all another time.
Thank you.
See ya. Thank you.
I got a lunch face reveal during this whole thing. All of a sudden, I noticed him because he walked out of
reveals
his
his
room
face
and-
every
Oh yeah,
day.
I know. I
Not
looked
that.
over there and I was like, "Who is this greasy looking ugly?" No, I was kidding. I'm kidding.
Dude, the way I saw lunch, I wasn't even looking at Discord. I just happened to see at the corner of my eye, like him get up and leave the room. Like, is lunch's camera on?
Hey, make sure to turn the private island code off.
Oh yes.
Oh yeah.
E.
Do you have the island code that you want me to give it to? Do you want people in chat to try to jump?
Yeah,
in?
yeah. Can you just click the details on the map
Yeah,
that's
JoJo.
Yeah.
I'm so sorry, dude. I did not expect the debate to go this long. I'm gonna play one round, okay?
That's
I'm
that's
sorry.
literally fine. I just want to show you it.
Okay.
It's
I
also
do
already
love
live?
I do love one in the chamber. I love it. So I'm excited.
Porsche? There's a Porsche in the shop.
If you guys
Oh, I
search
can't-
melon as well, it's also really easy to find.
Yeah, it is. Suica or melon. Here, I'm putting the code in our chat right now.
Wait, do we need the code?
No, we have it.
No, I'm just saying the map
Oh,
code
okay.
if you want to show it to your
Yeah,
chat
I'm
so they
putting the
can
map
join.
code. You
You
want
got
to
it.
play? Make sure you're on NA
Yeah, I'll
NA
be doing that
East.
for sure.
NA East.
How many players is it?
The
Jojo?
thumbnail is great. I think it's 24.
Okay, I minimize this, and Lunch's face
not
is still on
ready.
my Discord. Lunch.
Who's not ready
Sorry,
up? Is Lunch not ready up? Oh,
I'm
it's
ready
me.
up.
My bad.
I don't know what the fuck it. Yeah,
Fuck.
she.
I'm gonna yell at
Waiting
myself. What
for
the fuck?
Klarque Clint to ready up.
All right, what's in the shop? Let's see. You say Porsche?
Yeah, there's a Porsche. It's actually
My
fire.
daily driver.
I still haven't bought a car, man. I don't know. I'm not a big car
All
guy.
right, then we get it.
I do like the werewolf though. Werewolf's a cool car, but not enough for me to buy. You know.
Werewolf? No, that's terrible. Trash.
What? Terrible. But you want a Porsche?
Yeah.
Oh, actually, I just
We need a
realized
good
I'm gonna-
SUV car. We don't have enough good SUVs.
There we go. Chat's back
How
up
many
on
do we
screen.
have? We have like what? Two.
I don't
three?
know. The Cybertruck, the what other ones?
Yeah, we really don't have many SUVs. We need like a Jeep Wrangler, bro.
Oh, this is a fancy map. Look at this.
10 kills to win.
Also, yeah, it's really simple, but I just thought
Ooh.
the goal was I have like an entire world, so you'll see some of my characters like hanging around and stuff.
Oh.
And yeah, there's a lot of like lore behind everything here. Oh, what Clark?
Is ammo restored at any point, or do you use the one shot and that's it?
If you kill someone, you get a bullet. So it's like one of
Does
the.
everyone have a snowball launcher?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Take fall damage.
No fall damage. So if you miss, you have to pickaxe someone for your bullet, Clark. Also, snowball launcher does have a glitch. If you kill yourself, you don't get it the next round.
Ow. Oh.
You tried to shoot me.
But yeah, there's like the castle in the background. That's a tease for like a future thing. A lot of the.
Sorry about that, guys. I just noticed that I was muted. Sorry about that.
Oh.
So does this just
Not for you guys
rotate
on my screen.
through different items?
Yep.
And then whoever gets to 10, and then it switches to a different
Oh,
one?
it's like a
Yep.
gun game in one of the chambers.
No,
Yeah.
it's not gun game. It's just a completely different round. So you're just playing one round on this, and then once like Furious, if he gets 10, he wins. Then we go to a different gun, and there's like
Yeah.
That's cool.
6 or 7 different.
I like that.
Come here.
Oh.
Hey, feels nice.
Didn't you, Jojo, didn't you hate wilds?
That's what you get for what you did to my
Th-
shark.
Yeah. There's a
These are
joke.
all wilds.
I know. There's actually I hate vibing. I hate vibing too. If you look up like here, I don't know if you can see my pings. There's
How
a
does Furious
there's a
have 9 kills? Holy crap! Stop
yeah, he's
sweating.
shitting on everyone. There's a pink tree up here that's reference to vibing that my map creator put in because he wanted to make fun of me. Put everything I hate in.
I mean, if you want to make fun of you, there's a lot of facial features.
How many
Okay.
different weapons or options? to play with?
I want to say I kind of forget like 6 or 7 somewhere around there.
Mhm.
We had to remove a few because they were for some reason the hunting rifle had like a really bad glitch.
Oh.
Oh, there we go.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, the round was just ending. It just took a while. So, what's his face?
How many-
Furious won.
Have you had any
Oh,
luck
it's-
with people playing the map?
I'm in the sky.
Organically, or-
I launched it today, so I haven't done enough. I haven't done any promo yet.
Okay.
Oh, you just launched it today.
Cool. I like it.
Yep.
That's good. I like one in the chamber personally, so I would play this on my own time.
Thank you.
But guys,
I'm on the
tired
map.
even though I didn't speak. I'm gonna head out.
Yeah, I'm worn out too. I like the map. It's good.
I do as well.
Thank you, bro.
Everybody,
Fine with you, Jojo.
thank you very much to all the other chats. I will see you later, alligators. And it's been a lot of fun.
All right, see you, Clen. See you, Dag.
Peace,
See you,
you guys.
Klarque.
Well, I'll keep playing.
Oh yay!
I'll keep playing. I won't end this stage yet.
But Knock is like the best.
Yeah, actually one of my
Knock is like the
favorites is
worst.
the Ranger shotgun. That round is really fun. But Is this like gun game? No, it's one in the chamber. It's you just have the same gun. You try to kill people. Get your points up. Get 10 and you win.
Would you ever consider like a utility item, or do you like the just simplicity of?
No, I would. Like what?
Maybe like a bubble shield, or like an impulse, or like boogie bomb. I don't know.
Yeah, no, we definitely could. I just have to figure out what it would be, and like how it would play. I think so. The reason we made like a one in the chamber map is because the map creator that helped me make this made a one in the chamber map like literally 4 years ago during old ass creative, and me and my community would always play on it before updates would drop, because you can get like 30 more minutes in before the servers go completely down. Yeah. And we would always just play that one in the chamber map. So I was like, oh, let's just do it, but for this, and update it, because that one started breaking. Like every update, stuff would not work, and so we stopped playing on it.
That was kind of like there was this map called Railgun Spleef that I used to play like all the time on Steam.
Yeah, I think I played on it too.
Yeah, so we turned it into a mini game this week, because it was like, that was kind of an old concept, but it was fun.
Oh wait, I played that shit, bro. You gotta. Oh my gosh, that shit's unbalanced.
Okay, we pushed an update last night, so
Okay,
we might have
good.
fixed whatever. Yeah.
That shit, bro. It was impossible to win.
Yeah, we reduced the timer, so it's easier to survive.
Okay,
now.
good.
Yeah.
I tried like 4 times, and I was sweating my tits off, and I could never win.
Yeah, plus there wasn't infinite tax sprints. That made it harder as well. we added that.
Okay, nice.
Oh, this is gonna be
Ooh, yeah.
This one is hard.
Aw.
I spies. Fuck. Yeah, we're already planning to do like a Christmas update and stuff, so that'll be cool.
Sick.
Shit on! Gator, you're so mid.
I know you see my frames are hella low right now.
Bro, oh my god, bro. What kind of crack is Furious on, bro? You got that dag on me shit? That fucking good.
Damn, I'm ran into it.
Oh my gosh.
Run into it. Please, give me a kill.
Oh, yes.
Hi, Furious.
No. Come here!
Big guy, Adam. Wait, do you get a kill streak or something? Or are you yellow
Yes,
now?
I have a kill streak.
Oh.
You get 3 in a row, you get a speed boost.
Oh, nice.
Oh, I won. I think.
Wow.
Let's go. Dookie Don! Oh yeah.
Yeah, you could have had like a little victory screen or something, but I do like the pacing, just the fast. Just go straight into the next one.
Yeah, I wanted to get like a little victory screen, but at the same time, my map creator is like new to doing UEFN and stuff, and so we were just like, let's just get the map out.
Yeah, no,
Can
that's
get
fair.
other stuff out later. Yeah, because I want to know like who wins each round. It shows at the start of the next round, you like the person who won the last game is in the lobby, but I think a victory screen would be nice.
Where am I? Where am I? What the fuck is this?
No!
Off the zip line.
How did that miss? Oh, Gator's already at 6 kills! Yeah, this one's crazy. This one can be real. If you get on a roll, this one's so fast-paced. Fuck.
No fucking.
What are your thoughts on the new DNI? What are you talking about? Thank you, Curve. Fuck, I'm not looking at my screen. I'm getting shit on.
No.
Yes.
What? There's spawn protection. The fuck is that?
Yeah, there's spawn protection. You can't just get instantly shit on.
Fuck.
I think Gator
They
shit
win.
on everyone.
Yeah, it's hard. Kind of hard to tell who wins sometimes.
Yeah, no, I could probably try to fix that soon. You can tell right here every round, but
Yeah, that's true.
it's definitely less satisfying to
What
not
is
see it
Trigger
pop
doing
up.
to you? He's violating.
Yeah, Curve.
I'm not pulling you up.
If any of you guys have any changes you want to the map too, like just tell me and we can try to see if it would work and stuff. If you have any suggestions, let me know. Mine.
How do you get gold
Kills.
kills?
Yeah. We were thinking about lowering it a bit, but
Fall off the
some of
map.
my other friends played the map for a lot. It seems like 100's a lot, but it kind of goes faster than you'd think it would. Yo, Cart, you're so buns, bro. Oh, I thought he was gonna run to the right. Yeah, Excalibur, you have to like predict people.
Wait,
a lot more.
I just got a Ranger shotgun on the ground.
What? Uh-oh.
Yeah.
Ooh, that might have to be fixed. I hopefully you can't use it and get a bullet though.
Wait, let me. Can I test?
Yeah.
Wait.
That's already too.
No one kill Harley Quinn for a second. Oh, I missed with it.
Well, if you pickaxe someone, are you dead?
Oh, they killed me.
Hopefully it didn't stay around. Oh. I think some of those bugs are kind of self-fixing, but no, I was. Oh. Oh yeah, Johnny. I don't know. Okay, Dag. There's like a thing where if you're on a certain graphics setting, the map is like super bright. Do you know? My shelf just fell again. Bro, I got video games. Chad, do you think it's gonna be okay?
I think it's fine.
JoJo abuses that shelf, guys.
Bro, that shelf is done. Bro, look at the fucking like 45-degree. Oh, I just hailed Hitler. Fuck!
Oh my god. What? Nah. Yo.
I did not mean that. I was showing the angle.
Delete the VOD.
I might have to delete the VOD.
Wild.
You're gonna delete 3.5 hours of Clark?
Oh, he was yelling at everyone. I swear.
Why is bro spraying Mr. Beast everywhere? Alright, this is my last one. I'm tired too.
Yeah. It was entertaining. It was just it did get kind of repetitive. The
yeah.
Like obviously because Clark's just kind of going back to the same points.
That's kind of why I was like, I think in the future you do multiple points and it's
Multiple topics.
Yeah.
Yeah. For a video, one makes sense, but for a stream, yeah, I get that.
I think even you'd be the Jubilee videos do multiple topics and it works out really well. I think you could kind of group a couple topics that are closely together. Why did I just get a shit ton of gold?
Yeah, like let's say the video is titled, should Fortnite Battle Passes return or OG or whatever. Like as long as the other topics have to do with skins or Battle Passes, like,
yeah,
I'm sure people wouldn't click off.
No, yeah, and I think if you group them in like a similar fashion or like a way where you can kind of transfer to the other point, like you could do like, for example, you could do like what is the best season ever, and then the next one could be what's the best skin ever, and I think people would still be interested,
Yeah,
like,
I mean that one's more of a subjective, I guess. Well, I guess this is.
Yeah. I think a lot of the arguments, I think subjectivity is still fine to argue about.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think you can group non-subjective things closely together as well and have it work out.
Oh, kill Willis.
Yeah, like one of the topics could have been, should OG Fortnite even return?
Yeah, exactly. That would have worked perfectly. And what would have been interesting.
And I think Clark's position is no.
I think my position is...
Yeah.
Actually, my position is not no. I think it should just be a yearly thing for their birthday. I think that's what I've settled on. Would be my preference. All right, that was my last one. I'm gonna head off.
Okay. Make sure to tell everyone to like and favorite the map.
True. Like and favorite the map. I'm not used to
I
this.
just got to a good one too.
Huh? Oh, which one?
I just got to the mammoth.
Oh shit. Well, you better win, Lunch.
I'm not winning this shit.
All right. I'll talk to you guys later. Have a good one. Bye. All right, chat. Thank you for the fun stream. It was an interesting conversation. I think probably now we're just gonna move on from the conversation. I do hope no one's feelings were hurt or anything. I think I gotta fix this shelf probably. Although I don't quite know what I'm gonna do, but I think it's going to crash down pretty soon. So, I will see you guys later. Thank you for watching the stream. Please play the map, like and favorite it, I guess. And yeah, play it. Tell us anything you want to change, any ideas for it. You can DM me or whatever. And I appreciate you all. Lunch, thank you for the 1,000 bits, bro.
Lunch
I
on
appreciate you, dog.
X1000.
Thank you.
Good night, Poppy.
All right, y'all. I'll see you on the next stream. I'll be streaming. Oh, tomorrow I'm actually doing a whatnot stream. That's what all this stuff behind me is for. I'm selling all of this to pay for a car. So if you want anything, pull through. I'll be selling shit a lot, so do that and join whatnot tomorrow when I sell stuff. But I love you guys. I'll see you on the next stream. Have a good one. Peace.
Said class.
Yo, bro.
No, sorry if it got a little annoying there.